Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We have the white viscous man himself, Jason Kaplan, ready to go with another round of NA fun. Seriously, though, if they made viscous in like a snow skin, how many would they sell, Kaplan?
Bro. Infinite.
Snowman
Everyone
viscous
would buy that up.
Would go so high, and like you make the snow trail all across the map,
right?
And like people have to like shovel it out the way.
We're really into Elsa and Frozen stuff in this house. Let's get into the games, though, because North America is heating up. There's no time for snow in the fall of the NA competition. Uber, what did you just witness from Hydra Nation? Who did you give MVP to, and why did you love him?
Yeah, I think we talked at the end of the game. Rokane, right? The Mina play was pretty impressive. It's funny because it felt like Hydration kind of sacked the mid to late game in the sacrifice. Jason sacked it to get that Mina set up. You know, it felt like Hydration's only at like 25k souls by the end of the game. Feels like a definitely much more utility focused build of Abrams. Wasn't looking to really take the game over as an individual, but Mina was able to, of course, really powerful. Talked about the itemization. I think there's like a Spellbreaker picked up towards the end. So like when you're picking up those kind of items, I think you're in pretty good shape. So very, very strong showing. And also Yamato, you can cancel, Flying Strike. Good to know. Strong
swimmers, strong showing. Flying Strike can be canceled. You can learn a lot here on Fight Night Night Shift. Let's get into our next matchup. The Baroness Hotel taking on Hydra Nation. Jason Kaplan, why should we get excited about the pickup team? It's like watching a USA Olympic flag football squad. We didn't know their names. Now their household names taking down the juggernauts, Team USA.
I thought you were going to go with the 96 Dream Team, the best basketball team the U.S. has ever assembled, ever. Because that's kind of what you got here. I mean, this is a star-studded lineup from different teams, though I'd say the majority of it kind of have to give it to Melee Crew, Society, John, and Scout. But I mean, Ido, his calling coming back into competitive Deadlock here is a thing of beauty. Not to mention, I mean, Do on the side, it's great to see him excel and show what he can do on the likes of Pocket and DMB. I mean, he's been a staple in the Deadlock scene for such a long time, even dating back to the original Hydra Nation. But the Stream Team turning Dream Team, I think, for me, is really interesting to see that there is an insane depth of talent in North America, but we haven't seen them all come together in teams just yet.
They say DMB is the glue. He is the stickiest on the squad because he's the only one who has won $2,000 here for North America. The rest of the team was part of Sneaky Golems week 1 with DMB, and then he switched it up for last week where they didn't expect to win. Ido, though, is the player everyone in the chat is talking about. Uber, why are streamers such fan favorites here on the Night Shift?
I mean, Ido plays this game so much. Holy balls, he plays so much this game. Obviously, guy's great personality, really upbeat. We've been lucky enough to get him on interviews after the game. Go and see his stream. He's fun-loving guy. He was one of the first, I think, to really pick up the pocket and honestly just look incredibly good. So really trends towards, or just really gravitates towards like a lot of the high mechanical requirements of Deadlock and is able to really demonstrate what you can do if you put the time into really refining that particular skill set. So big fan of Ido. Great to see him sort of, again, turning his mind towards competing. Obviously, streamer's going to stream. I hope, he pops off down the line, of course, as a Deadlock player and streamer. And, you can have both. It's great to see him here, though, of course, on Night Shift.
Trying to disrupt the stream tonight is Hydra Nation. You saw him win the Challenger match. AVG, a player to watch, a selfless soul. Letha, love him or hate him, he's going to be in your face. And then, of course, we have to talk about the new face in Ranger. Does Ranger get to play Gun Ivy for North America tonight, Jason?
No, I don't. So I might get some hate for this, but you know what? I feel like I'm justified in saying it. Mechanically, Ranger, I don't think is on the same level as the rest of the team.
Not a trackball.
Oh, I mean, if you're not using a trackball, what are you doing with your life, to be honest? But he's not mechanically as skilled as they were, at least from the times we saw him back in the Fight Night. Now, what I am hearing about him that he is a very big brain, very smart about how they go about drafts and how they go about playing out the matches. Now, whether you can kind of offset the lack of mechanical skill, again, I'm sorry if I'm knocking on you too hard here, with what you bring to the team in a calling way, that is to be decided. But what I will say, Hydra Nation looked much better as a team in the last game. I was so happy to see Hydration off of Page finally and back on a hero we know him to be good on with Abrams. It was more of these comfort picks that they should be playing, which makes me wonder, why weren't they just playing comfort before with Lord and M? Why were they trying to reinvent the wheel when they were the ones to create the wheel initially in North America?
Uber, we saw drifters, we saw victors. Would you rather see a corpse or would you rather see a guy who has claws and hangs out in dark places?
I like the guys hanging out in dark places.
Big
honestly,
hands.
And boogaloo around the corner until 4 or 5 a.m.
Cool little hats.
I don't know what you're talking about, Jason Kaplan. I've never been to such an establishment. Definitely not until 4 or 5 a.m. 5 days a week. That's not something I would do. But I mean, we've seen what Victor, is capable of doing. A bit of drifter gameplay was fun. I think we saw him like when he first came out here. But I'd be surprised if we saw it make its way into the draft. I thought we got to see that. It was good to see the AVG Yamato in that previous game. That's why Leffer, of course, ended up being on the Ivy. I'm looking very closely at that draft because we saw Hydra Nation being able to draft a comp that didn't have any initiators at all and still find success by bullying in lane and then just standing on the objective being like, okay, we're just going to let the game come to us. So I think it goes to show that you don't need, one of Yamato or, Holiday, but you do need to get a great starting lane. You've got to pick towards, I think, being really oppressive in that early stage.
Jason, I don't know if this is smart, but in my 6 shifts here on the night shift, I have been reading the chat and trying to pick up on what they're talking about in game. They told me last week that Hydra Nation lost before it even started because they suck at drafting. How do you feel about the early pocket ban?
Well, I mean, yeah, makes sense. Take it away from Do. Ido's not going to be playing it. Take away one of the strongest heroes in the game at the moment. Them sucking at drafting, though, just blows my mind because they were never a team that sucked at drafting. So I don't know what changed, but that has kind of been the excuse they used in the last 1 or 2 weeks. And I remember talking to Low. Yeah, I mean, I think the week before, to be for the draft in 2 weeks ago was definitely not that great. But I talked to Low May and I was like, how has it been mentally for you as a team losing these last 2 weeks? Because it's not typical to see Hydra Nation lose consistent like this. And he said week 1, it gave them the drive to really, figure out what they're doing wrong. And they went into week 2 thinking they had all their problems fixed and that they were going to win this one and smash it. But when they lost in week 2, it was definitely hard. There were definitely a lot of heightened discussions happening within the team, and maybe that's what caused the roster swap to come through. But for them, I think they're feeling prepared this week, and let's see if they can finally take that title back.
So they changed the roster when they lose 2 games, not 1.
Got it. Yeah,
they lose 2 games.
Yeah.
Uber Chat wants to know, Hydra Nation pick the baddie. Who's the baddie they're referring to?
The baddie, probably Mina. But there are a number of baddies in this game. You know what I mean? It depends. Are we talking?
Yeah, it's early draft, so you got to assume the Mina, right? All right, Baroness Hotel scoops are up. So if you're looking for that baddie, you're looking elsewhere. They couldn't be talking about Paige.
No,
Paige wouldn't go this early.
So many baddies in this game.
I got my own baddie at home. I mean, Mina's supposed to be a vampire.
They're talking about Ivy. Have some.
Ivy,
bro. Dude, I am not up with the culture. Ivy's the baddie now. I respect it.
Ivy's the bad. Thank you, ZP, for being our nerd translator. We've got
in all of us.
Abrams locked in. We've got back-to-back picks here for Hydra Nation. What goes good with this? Probably a Paradox, right?
I think, look, you probably don't need to take it in this first round, just because neither Paradox or Holiday have sort of been banned out yet. So I think securing getting another really good gun carry is huge. AVG wants to be on this Mirage, I think, or there are a number of Rokane's obviously a fantastic Mirage player as well. It was banned away from them early in a previous game. So snap that up and worry about initiation in the second round of picks. I
mean,
Caplet, I feel like they just picked up a kicker in the 3rd round. Is that what I just witnessed here, or is Mirage stronger than I know? Like normally in a fantasy football draft, you would get the kicker very last.
No,
Mirage is always like
they went for the number 1 quarterback basically when everyone's picking RB's pocket. That's what they did.
I might be American, but I've been living in Europe the last 13 years of my life, so I'm sad to say I've never played fantasy football.
It's like Hydra Nation don't have an RB2, but they got
Yeah, okay. So I think what you're getting at is why are they going Mirage right now when they could go with him like as a last pick, because you don't want to take a kicker right away unless he can boot the ball 70, 80 yards like we've seen the last season. Boot the ball, we'll go with it. I don't know, actually. I would imagine they're going to take it for Rokane, most likely. But again, they do have the flexibility across the roster. I think one thing I did want to mention, though, is we just had an interview with Lightbringer, and he just talked about how damn strong Kelvin is. Like, him and Greytown are 2 of like the strongest heroes in the game right now. And because Hydra Nation were forced to ban Pocket away from Do, you give Saya Kelvin. And I think that's already a massive threat, paired with the fact that you got your Shiv and your Kelvin combo to use together in the lane.
What do you do to deal with it? We find out. Kid in the
By
Mirage,
silent
get
wave.
it done.
On like
Lady
3 people.
Geist is in.
Okay.
Doorman? Does the door person come in?
I mean, you can.
I would say no. Well, I don't know. With Bebop being banned away, I know Ranger just played it, but I feel like Bebop and Dorman have such great synergy between the two in a lane. It almost guarantees you a winning lane. But to throw a Doorman in here at the moment, I'm not so sure.
Smart to turn to
Paradox is
Paradox
here.
for help.
Yep. So saving those initiators for like second wave of bans. It's quite interesting now, like the way, like our bans
Give
have
me a
changed
Lash.
over the last. Lash.
Yeah, give me
Haven't seen
another
that rest.
frontliner who can use Silence Wave because you have a Geist and a Kelvin on the other side.
Yep.
And I mean, even Mina, it's effective. You shut down Kelvin's dome, you shut down the swap. It makes you able to insta kill one of these two very high priority targets in the beginning of a fight.
Yeah. If you can kill Kelvin or someone else within like the 3.5 seconds that Silence Wave like is active for, they can't dome, they can't save anyone. It's super strong. Is that Doorman though? So obviously no bans left, so you don't have the ability to just obviously deny any further away. But Bebop's already been taken off the table in that first rotation. So Hydra Nation are the ones that didn't want to deal with that at all because,
Billy.
well, it's John. So I get it. Billy getting picked up here. So Abram's obviously not available to Baroness Hotel, but still important to have a really powerful, like, gun carry.
You need something to stop the Baroness Hotel. I think I want to say like a Lash would be a really good pick here because they're going to run at you with like a healing tempo on Kelvin. You have Kelvin, Shiv, Geist, Billy all running at you with Mina in the back line being safe. Okay, Holiday's going to help as well for like initiation for a catch. They want to just hold W and run straight at you. And Hydra Nation, they need some sort of like disengage or way to keep them away. I feel like a Lash would be decent with the ultimates. I don't know what else they can go for here that would kind of fit, at least in my eyes.
Time for Dynamo, boys. Oil up.
It's Zextia with the first ever chat. Uber is very handsmo. If you'd like to support Uber financially, you could become a sugar mama over on Patreon for just $5 a month. You can support the night shift community. We've got Viscous, the sticky icky does make it in for the final game. North America knows how to celebrate the big goo, man. Uber, why are you excited for the lineups? Is it the Baroness Hotel or Hydra Nation that has you tingling?
I think that, like Jason correctly identifies, that Hydra Nation needs some disengage, but also a greater level of disruption here. It's really only the Abrams and the Doorman to some degree that can prevent the Baroness Hotel from having these like ideal engages, especially set up with like a Spirit Lasso or something similar. So making a half ability to get value, forcing him back to sort of arm's length, and allowing yourself to use your paradox maybe to get in there, set up poke a little bit, let Mirage go to work, and those longer engagements is going to be really important. So I like that a lot. I think Hydra Nation have definitely improved their comp, but Kelvin, Shiv, Mina going over to Baroness Hotel is pretty scary.
Kaplan, is this game over before it begins like last week, according to the chat?
I look at this and I want to favor the Baroness Hotel 100%. You have to think about Left on Ivy is not going to be there with this team because he needs to farm up. He needs to get to that 30k-ish souls to really be a late game threat to carry, even though he's insanely good mechanically. So that means Baroness Hotel have to also keep one player out to kind of counter push him or push on the other side of the map or push against him, something like that. And probably, I would imagine it'd be Mina in this composition, which leaves you with a Kelvin, Shiv, Geist, Billy, Holiday. That is a very scary 5 players running directly at you, and you don't have a ton of damage on your side. I mean, I guess you have decent damage, but it's gonna be really rough to deal with those 5 players pushing straight towards you with the frozen shelter, with the lasso. I think when we get to like these mid-game brawls, Baroness Hotel has this game won in my eyes. But it's all about Hydra Nation extending the game to that point where Leffa can carry later on.
Chat's arguing, who does Ido play? There's no Pocket. Pocket was banned first by Hydra Nation, making sure he doesn't have any fun.
I kind of want to say Mina, but
is it the Mina or is it the Holiday? That's what chat is arguing over.
You know what
chat,
I can do? You know what we can do? We can head over to twitch.tv/Ido, and you could probably find out in the middle of this talking of what he's actually going to play.
Oh,
That's a pretty good idea.
I think you
Really
might have
good
to
idea.
like listen to his comms though. I got an ad. I'm going to watch it for Ido. So.
You like support the players while supporting us, while supporting
Right.
yourself, while you get better at Deadlock. It's a great idea. Also, we should mention, and speaking of support, we have about 4 days left in the month of September. That is September over on twitch.tv. So if you want up to 30% off or 100% off, use a Prime like Dark Shocker just did. Thank you. Perfect timing, my guy. We are at 759 of our 1,000 sub goal. goal. They are now 25% off if you live in the state of Ohio. Get it done. Game's on. Baroness Hotel winning back-to-back is DMB. Can he go for 3? He's got to take down Hydra Nation. Game on.
Let's jump into it, folks. Best of 3. Thanks to our friends over at Intel. $1,000 on the line between Baroness Hotel and Hydra Nation. Jason Kaplan personally called in a HR complaint to have me kicked off the VCT finals run in Paris in order to be here. Great to be joining you again, Jason. Baroness Hotel, you fear this at least 5-player run-up look for them. A powerful composition. Let's see, though, if they can transition out of these early stages.
I just have to say, by the way, Mitch, it took me about 37 complaints to finally get you kicked off VCT so you can come back and do some Deadlock with us. But I'm happy I stay committed.
Yeah, no, good job, honestly. I really only thought it would take one, but that's the world that we live in. So, sorry. Anyway, here, because this obviously we're going to be dealing with a fair bit of pressure in this lane. It's a Shiv and Kelvin, which is a pretty classic combination. A lot of sustain, a lot of harassment potential there, as well as Frost Grenade has already found its way over towards Rocane yet again. In mid, we are going to have, of course, both Paradox and Holiday set up there early, being able to rotate outward to try and slant those fights a little bit further in their favor. And the Mina, of course, is going to be here alongside DMB's Billy pick.
Yeah, I think that's going to be kind of interesting lane. I think if you can engage, like Ivy can play safe, but the thing is they're going to have decent wave clear with Leffa with just the Kutsu bomb, so it's really hard to get them under tower to be able to go for a dive. I think that's kind of the goal, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Leffa actually go for monster rounds to kind of counteract any pushing coming their way. But I don't know. This one can kind of go either way in my eyes. I think the damage is clearly going to go the way of Baroness Hotel. But Hydra Nation, you cannot really count them out because all it really takes is one of those pins onto Ido on the Mina to really shut him down and get a relatively easy kill.
Yeah, obviously DMB has the ability to engage as well. But as long as you just give Billy a little bit of room while I had that blasted active, then it's a little bit hard. But we see it like that. Billy's able to walk up on you and randomly hit you with a melee. Or those light melees start to become pretty relevant when you're up against this hero.
I think one of the lanes I'm looking towards is actually mid lane. We've seen Geist being played a little bit more in North America than we see over in EU. You go for that Radiant regeneration fairly early on, which means you're very difficult to take down. What's up?
No, but the 5 gifted. Just want to call that out.
Okay. Hey, I appreciate it, man. I'm actually surprised.
He doesn't understand our style, Uber. When Uber and I were in charge, the subs were rolling in. The rest of the community took offense.
I just want to. They're giving us money to yap at them. So
because Tree did it, and then Garbage-Anodinator, and then we saw Magnitude was doing it. It's like all these people were subbing. We just felt like they deserved some more attention than Lady Geist.
Sorry, Jason.
You know what? Next sub I see, I will.
And A Camp did it.
You gotta show you.
Camp with the sub.
Oh, nice. Yo, damn.
Oh, Jester DM's doing it now with the 5 gift. I'm distracted.
Yeah, I mean, again, like what happened at this point? Like, do want to acknowledge this support. Thank you very much. Of course, 5 gifted in the chat from Jester there as well. We're gonna keep them coming, folks. Again, we've got a pretty placid laning phase here. I think it's safe to say. So not missing too much while we're glazing our lovely chatters. Thanks, guys. Jason, now you can actually use your brain again.
I gotta find it first. I think on this left side though, yeah, you're not really gonna see much kill potential until we get the ultimates online. I do wonder though, I don't know about this and I don't think it's possible. Can you door on a frozen shelter? And I don't think you can, but if you could, that would be the sickest counter to a frozen shelter by far. I think you can if the dome's close enough to the wall, right? Because you can put it on that wall if you already have one outside. That would be
if
like
there's
400 IQ.
I don't think you can dome, like you can't put a door outside of the frozen shelter when you're inside of it. I guess maybe if the shelter
place it, right?
Yeah. Then I guess you can door in and out of a dome. I feel like that's such an edge case. That's so rare. My God, look at this Kelvin Shiv lane. It's so gross, man. This pressure on this Guardian left side is being felt here by Hydra Nation. Boy, that do be hitting it. Jason, it's
real Yoda.
Let's go.
With the 5 subs.
Do it better. Try again.
It was good. It was good. Really?
Hold on. I don't know which way this makes my voice go. If it's more masculine or feminine.
Oh, we got a new name.
Yeah, another one. That's nerve with like. Well, I don't know what to make of that, really. Not sure how I feel about the.
I don't know what this button does. Oh, it doesn't really do anything.
Right,
okay,
I'm glad.
We're glad.
Like so many.
This is your fault, guys. You gave him a Go XLR. Back to you, Uber.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I was doing this 10 years ago when the Go XLR first came out, and abusing these features a little bit too much.
My favorite button on my Go XLR is this. Actually, no, I'm not gonna hit that button. I'll save it for later. Well, if we get 10 gifts, I'll hit that button.
Oh,
in
I
the
know
meantime,
what
we
it
are
is.
gonna see a push. We see the first guard in the game. Owen already going down for Hydra Nation in the mid lane as a fight breaks down on the right here, Mitch.
Yeah, chain gang was pretty massive there. You see immediately the Ivy gets drawn straight on in. Hydration gets parried on as well. And this is looking pretty darn good for the Baroness Hotel so far. Over towards the mid side of the map, much the same story. AVG goes down, and that is some nice Guardian pressure to be picked up. See, Leffa very quickly trying to return to that lane, but the Baroness Hotel here in mid are in no hurry to overextend underneath that Guardian. They'll take this wave push up and free damage on the objective.
We might see, actually, interesting enough. Yeah, so we have Ivy. So Leffa rotates over to the mid lane. I didn't actually catch how early that was because we had so many subs coming through, so kind of lost track. But in the meantime, he's going to be sitting there. And with a pause, it does give us a chance to breathe and a chance to go over what is currently happening. Because Low Main has gone to the right-hand side to deal with him and Hydration together as a duo. To deal with what might come their way. Because eventually that damage is going to come through. You saw DMB and Ido able to put a lot of damage in earlier on.
You notice here, of course, there was actually Baroness Hotel's Guardian was snapped up at the start of that fight. That's what kind of sort of provoked that entire thing. And so I'm surprised that we didn't see Baroness like try and push quickly to equalize those Guardians. I think they were just trying to play around a zipline boost and a re-engagement from Hydra Nation, which could have pushed things further out of their control. But pretty patient from them. Despite this back and forth, it's only a 1k soul differential. But you can see now that pressure coming in from Hydra Nation's right side lane, Low Main and Hydration there, of course. Really trying to shove in with... We might even see a rotation out by the Billy, who just get chunked really, really low. Nice connection with the luggage cart there. Do get sort of knocked off position, but they really want to try and take this fight as that rage bar is looking to build up now. Spin it up in midair, probably taking a bit more poke damage than they otherwise would have liked. And Rokane continues to throw the hurt down from range. Saya here also going to give a little bit of ground. We're over to Hydration on the right side of the map. They've found an engagement underneath this Guardian, but Hydration doesn't fully commit. There are 3 players here, though, from Hydra Nation. They've got to turn this into something. They have to get some value off this power play. And DMB's more than happy to challenge coming back off that heal in base.
This is already such a drastic change compared to last week when these two teams played, because Hydra Nation were always on the back foot. It took them so long to get those first Guardians down. It took them even longer to get those flex slots unlocked. And now that they're the ones able to push down the mid lane Guardian and the right lane Guardian, it gives them the control of the game here to build up an even bigger lead if they can pull it off. But Sai and Du quickly respond. This is over on the left-hand side, and they might be able to at least equalize one of these Guardians here in a few seconds. And a much-needed push at a much-needed time for them, because the game is honestly starting to slip away.
Yeah, look, Hydra Nation are finding success in the lanes that aren't playing up against the Kelvin ship. So I feel like that's a pretty good result for them. And of course, Do here, that bloodletting is going to let him shrug off much of that damage that came in. There was a carbine connection and no real opportunity to follow up. It's going to be a baggage card. Also, Call Bell thrown out. Paradoxical swap to use Natty. No wall thrown up until about now. Hydration has gone down. Idorian very, very low, and it's going to have to get out of this engagement. Saya already far enough away that the Baroness Hotel are going to be able to disengage from this, but it's at a heavy cost. And big shout out, of course, we are at a level 7 hype train. Thank you very much for keeping those subs coming in. MR Blaze, or Mr. Blaze 96 with 10 gifted. Bloody legend. Thank you.
I think I have to hit the button now.
Yeah,
Am I allowed to hit the button?
Yeah, I mean, I think it just makes you sound good, so.
Hit it!
This is one of my favorite buttons, courtesy of DDK.
Well, everybody is coming.
Okay, didn't know there was going to be that one.
Yeah, we celebrate buttons. Thank you.
Yep. Okay.
The other ones were worse, so that was the best.
Okay. All right. Well. Okay. I'm glad you at least gave us the least severe of all
Sweet
of
release.
those. Yeah. Yeah. No. Good. Jason was really sitting on that for quite a while and just had to get it out there. That's totally fine. Anyway, we're back on the left side of the map. You'll notice that the Guardian, of course, was picked up. It is that pretty nasty Kelvin Shiv lane that we're dealing with. Back to the right, though. It is a cubed up Low Main, trying to get the advantage here over Ido, as we were correct, of course. He's here on the Mina, but Sanguine Retreat is a very powerful ability, and DMB was there to pick up the slack after Ido had to leave. So Baroness Hotel with a pretty healthy soul lead now. 1k is exploded into 7k over the last couple of minutes.
I mean, this was Hydra Nation getting 2 of the Guardians down before the Baroness Hotel got a single one. And how quickly it's changed in the matter of just a few minutes is insane. One thing we have to notice if we're going to look at, you know, the economy allocation, Hydration is on poverty souls, 5.5k. If you're here with the EU portion of the show where we get to see Listic just dominate on his Abrams, complete night and day between the 2 Abrams and how they're currently sitting at the moment. He's not going to be much of a threat in these fights, bar his charge. At least the upside for them is that Leffa is getting fed at 9,000 souls, but he has so many, you know, high DPS characters on the other side to deal with here that honestly the Baroness Hotel are really sticking to Hydra Nation here, and I have to give them credit too to be able to come back from behind. More importantly, where the last week they were always in that control and always in the lead.
Hydration did this in the previous game actually to try and set up their Mina for success in the late game. And again, wasn't a huge factor, but definitely still seemed to help to make sure that Leffa was able to get in there and get the job done. Okay, so our stay at the Baroness Hotel has now ended, and will be accosted here. Sai's going to jump on in straight away. Frozen shelter. Paradoxical swap occurred inside of it, but AVG had nowhere to take do. That's dirty.
Holy Saya coming in from downtown.
Take his Goexlar away. Take it away. No, send this guy back to USB mic territory. Take your Goexlar away. Someone take it away from him.
that wasn't even me. I was just doing what Puckett does, right? He's been doing this job for like 20 years.
That's crazy, dude.
He came in like a wrecking ball, man. He was like an F1 driver, just completely caught due in his frozen shelter to turn that fight around and get a kill. There was 3 players in Hydra Nation sitting there waiting for Dew to come out of that hotel to completely blow him up, and yet they got turned on. A ridiculous play by Saya.
We talked about, I think Lightbringer mentioned how powerful Kelvin is right now, and I think it's safe to say Sai has really made his presence felt in this game. Very, very fair, but as are most of the Baroness Hotel. Big shout out for the level 8 hype train. Thank you very much. Chatters and those have been gifting and subbing. Really appreciate that. And of course, in the hands right now of your doorman, it's Ranger. 25 gifted from Mr. Blaze. That must have been why. Thanks so much. Very generous support of the channel. And there's a Deadlock game going on right now, but I'm going to take this opportunity to extend our sincere thanks.
Should I hit the other button now?
I don't know what to expect. We're going to fight here. Let's just we'll circle back to it here.
It's on the shiv.
Yeah, splatter on the ground here, of course. AVG a little bit low. Cool Bell comes on in, and SDMB, nice rising ram. Will catch out Ranger. And that at least is something here for Baroness Hotel to hang their hat on. They're going to be able to get themselves this urn as well. Map control's good, except they're being shoved in a little bit on the left side of the map. Low main is, well, trying to do what he can here in this goo ball form. They're chasing down Dew. They definitely want to fight. It looks like eyes, though, were for Scout. But Sire again intervenes, turns the fight, apparently in Baroness Hotel's favor. There's the dash here by Dew. Caught, though, inside a Tornado. But now Rokane's going to have a little bit more than he bargained for in this fight. Try and get away. Ultimate used by Dew, didn't quite convert the kill, but Scout will take the credit.
This is insane, honestly. Like,
Sire is,
if we're talking about
so good,
Hydra Nation getting a much better draft than they've done in the previous weeks, but the Baroness Hotel coming back from behind, so many like great individual plays coming through. Saya with the save before. Like, this is honestly some ridiculous stuff. And now we see Hydra Nation looking to get themselves a flex slot unlocked here at about 12.5 minutes in. We already know that Baroness Hotel do have one for themselves, and they will give this one up. There might be a fight breaking off. Look how many players have conjugated towards this left side of the map.
Cart thrown out here. Ranger, though, caught out. Dangerous position to be in right now. It did at least send the Billy away for a brief stay at the hotel, but they're going to be back into the fight now, and Hydra Nation are in no better position than they started. In fact, it's getting pretty ugly out there for them. Lomain starting to rotate over towards this left-hand side, but is it too late to get something spun up here? Rokane's under a lot of pressure, taken very low. Trying to tornado a way out of this, at least got the knock up on Saya, but DMB was able to pursue. Lomain only just arrived here, realizes there's nothing more to do but to back away.
Just want to say as well, like, production is killing it tonight with these ultimates out of door, man. Like, having the cam on DMB there, you get to see what's happening inside the Baroness Hotel. Phenomenal job by our production team. They don't get enough credit that they deserve.
Yeah, it was sick. Big shout out, gang. 13k souls here to the Baroness Hotel. Is that really on your soundboard too? Is that you again?
Wait, I didn't hear that one. I think that was, yeah, I have my soundboard turned off in Discord, so I can't hear it. So that was definitely not me.
Oh, I see.
That was production proper. That's what that was. I saw it.
All right, thank you,
Was that production? You want me to hit the button?
No,
No, no, not yet. Another 10 gifted?
Okay, this is no good reason. Don't hit the bloody button. All right, here it is. Frozen shelter thrown down. Low main trapped here. Not the kind of Thunderdome he was hoping to inflict. Again, got caught out by 2 of the Baroness Hotel players, and now, of course, the chase is on Ice Path. We'll get the Kelvin back into a position to be involved in this fight as Lomain is trying to skitter away. Cubes himself, and yeah, it's going to be tough even with those nice little wall jumps here. Lomain's going to be chased down. This is the issue for Hydra Nation. There's no freedom of movement here, and it turned out Lomain was persona non grata in Baroness Hotel territory. Hydration here trying to get a fight started. Oh, but going to be siphoning, trying to fight against that essence drain. So both of them really just giving each other the slurp. Hydration now forced to back away because numbers are here for the Baroness Hotel.
Yeah, you're telling me I need to chill, but all right.
Yeah.
Knocks Nostra on top of Lasso coming through. There's no escaping that one. And the Baroness Hotel, man, this just blows my mind that they're like consistently beating what has been the best North American team basically since the start of Deadlock. Like, this is what's crazy about this team, and maybe they need to form a team together because honestly, it is ridiculous to see how well they've been playing. I mean, obviously left at 17,000 souls. He's starting to get up there. I mean, he's clearly ahead of his entire team, which can be good and can be bad. The thing is, Ido's been able to match him on the 17k point, but he won't have a front line to defend him if they're all dead.
Guys, Mr. Blaze has gifted 40 subs on the channel. Show some love to Mr. Blaze 96.
Yeah. Big up, Mr. Blaze. Thank you very much for supporting us with your hard-earned money. We appreciate it. Hit the
Give
like
us
on
your
here,
money.
Yeah.
We'll say your name.
Yeah,
Sorry,
we said
back to
Mr.
you.
Blaze's name like 12 times so far, and that's good value for money in my opinion. Here though comes the MB yet again. Lomain has to puddle punch himself away back to the safety of his walker, and he will be given a stay of execution this time around. Ern was snapped up here briefly by Ranger. Possibility for a turn in, of course, as that is very, very deep in Hydra Nation territory, but you know Baroness Hotel will be sniffing around for it. This is only 15 minutes into the game. You can see the Baroness Hotel have picked up a lead that's going to be really hard to wrest away from them. And a big part of it was, I think, just the Kelvin shift lane being just as terrifying as it was. Idorian's getting a lot of farm siphoned in. DMB also healthy 16k to his name. The Billy is ready.
I think a slight misplay just happened for the Baroness Hotel. They let that urn go completely for free. They had 3 players over on the right-hand side shop, and they easily could have went for a push on towards that walker to get some damage into it or potentially a kill on it. A little bit of a misstep. But luckily for them, it's not like that urn was worth a ton just yet. I think when we get to the 20-minute mark is where you really have to start to contest these and not let them go for free. And Ido on the 19k, he's got Radiant Regeneration. He's got some cooldown reduction. He's got Cultist as well, and he wants a kill. The lasso, how the hell did that connect? Nox is ready to go on top as if they want it. And they don't even need it. They get the kill nonetheless.
Scout sell that 100%. I mean, lassoing the doorman away from Ido. Not towards him. I know, bro. I got this one. Baroness Hotel, yeah, look, maybe a slight slip on the macro there, but I think they're going to be just fine in terms of picking that up. Didn't quite manage to get the parry there, but that is always scary when that walker starts to stomp on down. AVG falls. That walker is about to get crunched on as well. And obviously, Idorian with the Nox Nostra there is able to scare away any Hydra Nation defense to this right side. This might be a 20-minute game, folks. I'm going to give it to you straight. This is both the left and right side walkers under extreme scrutiny. And now there'll be a rotation surely towards mid here for the Baroness Hotel. Hydration has to be aware of this. He's got to be careful. They are all hunting for this Abrams.
He's got a warp stone, so there's a very good chance he'll escape this one. Last is not up just yet. Warp stone and the charge, so he'll be fine. And mid-boss is being done while all this is happening. Actually, this is just a bit of a distraction. It just seems to be Scout and Ido just trying to keep Hydra Nation completely away from taking this mid-boss, and they're just going to go down. But now they have to hurry and get these crystals before we see any potential steal, because Hydra Nation are in quick pursuit, and Sai with an amazing dome gives them no chance for a steal.
Frozen Shelter comes down there. Beautifully done. And now Hydra Nation could not get in at all. That's the next best thing. We're not seeing people dome the actual Regent Crystal anymore, but just to choke up that entrance and make it impossible for Hydra Nation to get on in there. That's dirty stuff. Idorian takes a literal age to die, but he's going to be back in the fight straight away. 2 of those redo buffs have been used. And that's a great result for Baroness Hotel. Still ready to fight with 6 players now and still able to make use of that buff potentially for the next 3.5 minutes. It's a power play, no 2 ways about it. And that mid and right side walker are about to feel the punishment.
I don't like being
I'm sorry, if you don't give Saya MVP from at least this match, then I don't want to work on DLNS anymore. Like, this man has single-handedly done God's work here. He does.
Yo, give it to anyone else.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Let's see what happens. Yeah, this guy's going to walk away.
Production, it's our opportunity. Go.
I mean, Hey, we can't fire you because of like at-will labor laws, bro. But if you want to walk, like that's on you. That's fine.
Hey, but Mr. Blaze though, with another 10 gifted, he's on what, like 69 for the night?
Hit the button.
That's
nice.
Crazy. We are a level 10 hype train there. Thank you very much. I want to hit the button. I'm scared.
I want to hit it. My finger's hovering over it.
Dude, brand safety. ZP's going to have a conniption, bro.
All right, I'll hit one button. Can I hit one button?
Oh, ZP is sweating right now in Minnesota.
That's crazy.
I'm squishy.
Okay, I can hit that button. That's safe.
Safe.
The other button when it hits not safe.
Bro has too many buttons.
But
I agree.
though, like really,
I agree. Yes.
the flying frozen shelter to save Do when he was thrown into the Dormant Ultimate. The perfect frozen shelter to deny any chance of Hydra Nation from contesting that reju. Like his positioning in general, but his positioning on his domes have been a one of a kind.
Yep. Not even that, but just think back to the early game, right? Just the rotations into so many of these fights. I think you highlighted, especially when Frozen Shelter was used to not only sort of save a teammate but turn the fight around. It's incredible. Obviously, like Veil Walker, very popular item now. It's something that is going to help Sire get around the map potentially even faster. Oh, it's a tank buster on the Mina. Watch out. Idorian is 24k souls fed. Lefa quietly has been building out to a critical mass, but it's, I think, probably want another 5k before that Ivy really starts to become a threat. And there are so many things that can tear you to shreds if you've not sort of specced into any of that survivability. Low main, bro, got burst down very, very heavily there. Should be able to slink away, but still it's getting dangerous now. Trying to defend this mid. Walker is going to be quite a challenge for Hydra Nation.
I will say this though. I mean, it is looking very promising for the Baroness Hotel, but left. Oh my God, the chain gang back in. He has to drop the urn to get flown to safety. And they will at least keep the urn on the side of the Baroness Hotel. But while this has all been happening, you have to credit to Leflo. He has been farming consistently. He's at 26,000 souls. He's not letting his team completely get out of this game. And if he wasn't doing this, Hydra Nation would be even further behind. But I still don't know if he can 1v6 the Baroness Hotel when he does get to that 30, 35k mark, because there's just too many players so far ahead on the opposing side.
Yeah, also when the guys Shiv and Billy are pretty fed, that is not great. Trying to burst them down, I think, is going to be tough. Low main here, trying to freely rotate around the map, and there's an urn with Baroness Hotel's name on it. They want to try and get a turn in here and fight for it. It's going to be Frozen Shelter thrown down. Most of Hydra Nation core on the outside looking in. Warpstone going to be used. Tip Hydration back to safety. Already made use of that ultimate and got no value from it. That's the last rejuve credit now. Boom, with 30 seconds left in its duration in general. Is the Baroness Hotel ready to fight for this? Do, of course, his ultimate up. There's a soul exchange there for John Ranger, just trying to take a beat here with that door set up. Nice catch with the baggage cart there at least, but looks like the soul exchange from John kept in the fight a little bit longer. Now Do and Scout are able to find their eliminations. And Hydra Nation, they got the drop on them. It was ultimately low main getting caught out first, and they struggle to respond. They get crushed.
That was a ridiculous fight. If they caught anyone besides John there, I think they would have had a kill, and I think they maybe been able to turn that fight around. John able to swap his health. He can keep himself alive after taking so many abilities and so much brunt of his damage. It gives them the survivability they need in this fight to hold out, to get themselves another walker taken, and to continue to extend this lead up to, I can do my math right, 32,000 souls. And this is already an insane amount of souls to come back from. It's not impossible, but you're hitting the stat check territory time, and Ido is continuing to farm at 29,000. This is getting very scary. And looking at Hydra Nation, I'm trying to think how they get back in this. They've tried getting catches. They've tried, trying to kill one player, but then Sai comes in to save them. The thing is, they need to stay grouped, but any kills they do get with the comeback mechanics in the game are massively going to help and keep them in the running. And this is a fantastic sound switch. There's no chance for Ida to escape.
Oh, yes, Sanguine retreat, though. Is it available? No, straight into Nox Nostra. He's just going to fight them. Okay. I know a little bit low, but 30k souls is a big difference. And he has the Stamina Master as well to help him get out in case it gets ugly. Scout, however, not nearly so fortunate. With no reju credits up, that is 45 seconds of game time that Scout needs to sit by the wayside for. Shout out Pharaoh NDE. Thank you very much for that. Now, it looked like Leffa was looking for a recipient of the bomb through the middle part of the map. But the Baroness Hotel still look like they're happy enough to fight. Sai is still on the map. Of course, that Kelvin intervention, always dangerous. Now maybe just settling, though, for some of that, safe side neutral farm.
Well, Leffa's hit the point, though. Capacitor, Siphon Bullets, got the Cultist, Fleetfoot. He's got a lot of the kit that he needs to be effective. I think one of the limiting factors he's going to run into now, though, is lack of flex slots. His items completely full out with, 3.8k in the tank. They need to get a walker. it's just so hard for them to group and take any of these objectives down because of this soul discrepancy that they currently have of 32,000 souls. They're trying to go for a catch round to do. They'll just bounce away to safety, even the knockdown not enough to keep them in close proximity. And you can see in the minimap, when anyone starts to get caught up by the Baroness Hotel, they immediately regroup on this person. That lasso won't connect, but you're not going to be too worried as it's just a viscous that you wouldn't really want to try to go for a kill on anyways.
Tell you what, Scout is already, as soon as they've come back off respawn, is looking for an engagement. And yeah, with 3 walkers standing, you're right. Those inventories, Jason, for Hydra Nation are starting to get a little bit uncomfortably overfull. No way here just to increase their power, even if they are sort of, farming their side of the map. Yeah. Also, something that we were talking about a little bit earlier, Jason, is that silence wave. Been picked up here for Ranger. See if they can find some value off it. Knockdown, of course, going to be in the build. Should be no shock.
Well, he tried it on Ido, right? He got the silence wave and he got the knockdown on Ido, and yet he still escaped, was able to survive long enough with just some really good movement tech, just jumping off the walls, then using the stamina mastery you pointed out before to get the extra dashes away. But Saya has Refresher, and this is where things get extremely scary because his domes are already good enough as one.
2 domes.
But 2 domes is going to be, it's going to be, I mean, obviously they're going to expect it, but it's something you can't really plan too well for. So they somehow have to figure out a way to catch Saya and kill him before we can get these double domes down.
Okay, we're going to check in on Ido's build here and probably explain to us why I was able to escape all of that utility thrown in by the doorman. Either way, it's a fight brewing here. The left side of the map, the buffs are up, and we're going to be fighting for them now. Going to get drawn in. Chain Gang active here for DMB. And there's AVG falling by the wayside. In a position to stay alive, trying to again abuse the buff from the Veil Walker, rather. So far, not so shabby against the low main. He is staying alive. That is absolutely insane. Somebody kill the ship, please. Low main finally hits what looked like a right click, able to pick him off. But that is time that has been taken away from Hydra Nation. Time they spent trying to deal with the Shiver. Now the rest of the team has got to come at them. Scout out of the game, do also down. Hydra Nation, though, do lose out on this exchange. There's more to fight for now as John comes forward. Hydration picked off. Sanguine retreat used more to engage now as Idorian was hoping to chase for more, but Leffer and Rokane will be allowed to skitter off to safety.
You know what? Ranger deserves a lot of credit in that fight. That could have been way worse. But he gets the ultimate on Saya. He prevents any dome from coming down when they're all grouped up, which would have been the worst position to be in. My lord, look at that mid-boss go down. The Spirit Burn plus the Nux Nostra, there's no chance that anyone can survive that. And you can see the Hydra Nation, they might try to contest it. They're going to back away and let this one go for free. But yeah, again, to go back to what I was saying, Ranger, he got an amazing ult on Asaya when they're all grouped up. No frozen shelter to come in, which meant Du had to overextend to stay alive in that 1v1 against low main. If he got that dome down in the middle of that fight, it wouldn't have even been close.
And there are a number of ways that Doorman can, or rather, in this specifically, Ranger in this situation can shut Saya down, right? It is the silence wave, and also, like you mentioned, sending him off to the Baroness. Obviously the namesake here of this left side team, who are looking very, very solid right now with 4 rejuve credits, of course, still to work through. 26 minutes of this is starting to approach an EU length game from what we've seen beforehand. So not too shabby for Hydra Nation, but it definitely felt like they've been losing incremental edges, incremental value over each encounter. Now with this earn take, it looks like there's no fight for this one. So the Baroness Hotel, obviously with the lead they have, the rejuve buffs means the Hydra Nation have to respect this and are trying, Jason, to safely farm that right side of the map. But you know, the Baroness Hotel are going to go hunting.
Yeah, I think it's with these Veil Walkers too. Oh my god, DMB's 8-0 right
they
now.
They don't die. They don't die.
And with the Veil Walkers they have, you're never really safe to do this because they're going to have that human ward vision to spot you out, and they can catch you out just like that. And now with a man advantage here for the Baroness Hotel, that mid walker's looking mighty fine right now to get yourself another flex slot and transition into the final one of the game, taking these base guardians down. And Hydration, there's a Billy coming behind you, and DMB, he wants these kills.
How many silence waves are these guys going to try and pick up? It doesn't seem like it's going to be enough. Here it is, though. DMB able to work on this walker from above. Low main still out of the game, and Ranger eventually going to be picked up. Here comes the slam. DMB looking to pressure down. Rescue being there will just tug him back into formation. Saya definitely mindful of the potential for overextension now, but we are looking at base guardians, of course. That is 3 walkers down. Only 1 more flex slot left to be opened up, and it seems all too easy for the Baroness Hotel now. Hydra Nation tried to play safe, tried to stay in the game, but eventually they were going to be hunted down by the opponents with 4 rejuve buffs still to spend, Jason. But look at these shrines to be snapped up.
Give him the dome!
I think they're going to give him the dome actually here. I think they have exactly what they need because Sire's Refresher is about to come online again. I think they could actually just stay around and commit to this fight, maybe get around the corner to bait them in. And Hydra Nation might be taking the bait here. This could be some easy kills coming through. Hydration gets locked in the dome. That is a massive dome. Does he have like the Mystic Reach on that? Because that was ridiculous. And he has another one to come in just a a few seconds.
I wouldn't be surprised actually to see Mr. Reach picked up here. Is that Nox Nostra?
Oh, it's over.
It's going against neutral objectives, isn't it? Oh, luggage cart nukes Idorian, but it is far too late. As Hydra Nation are going to have to give up this first game. The Baroness Hotel, man, when they look good, they look really good. You know what's crazy? You know, people are tilted about in the chat is that Sire's not even really a Kelvin player. Like that's what the word on there. That's what the streets are saying. So
they're not even a real team, man. They're just here winning thousands of dollars at a time from Intel.
Bro, like if this is the Baroness Hotel, what is like, you know, the return of melee creep's going to look like? Like when Sire and John, you know, decide to bring that team back together. It's crazy. There is so much undiscovered potential in this NA region. Hydra Nation were just on the receiving end of it, and it left a bloody handprint.
And Mitch, you know what Saya says to that? What? About him not being a Kelvin main?
What?
I'm squishy.
It's true.
That's actually his voice. That is actually him doing that for one of the videos I did before.
Let's take a look at the door, people.
I mean, look, this is the Sire intervention. This is what Sire saved today. Look at this. Bro, they're chilling, right? Tornado in, dude's in trouble, and then
bam!
He's not. He's just not in trouble at all. And then APG, the paradox, is caught inside of it. Bro, too sick, man. There's nothing. And then Hydra Nation are like, well, we can't even really fight this, so they're not going to bother. Chain Gang, very powerful ability. You're about to see why. Bam! Ranger obviously tried to work as much of that urn control as humanly possible. Really, you can see exactly why they're so powerful. And you'll notice, like, even that early itemization, right?
This is dirty. You ain't getting out.
Oh,
you're not,
bro. And Sire just, bro just takes it. Reju buff gets picked up. Sire is not dying. You cannot kill him. Hydration is underfed in this situation. There's not much you can do. See, Lomain is also just like trying to puddle punch for his life. It's not enough. I swore Idorian had an ethereal shift in his inventory because the guy was impossible to kill. I don't know how he was continuously able to get away from this hard engage. All these silencing effects were picked up by Hydra Nation, and they still couldn't stop Sire from, doming, or Ido from just slipping away safely.
Bro, I want to know how he had so many highlights from this match. I swear we could probably go on for 5 minutes.
This is so crazy, bro.
There's a lot of damage down there.
Yeah. I mean, it is crazy what, like, you could do. Obviously, low health is Civ is a dangerous place, especially if you're raged up, right? It can be pretty hard to kill you. I think a nice splatter there from Lomain or a right click either way. That one could have been ugly. So, but in general, right, it was a Shiv Kelvin lane that really started this snowball. That left-hand side of the map was really, really powerful. And Scout and AVG, rather, are in the middle. They're obviously looking to rotate outwards, set up these kind of ganks, set up those, like, advantage situations. But I mean, the Baroness Hotel, all of their lanes basically coming out of that early phase of the game. Look how ahead they are by like that 9 sort of minute mark, and it never really gets any easier for Hydra Nation.
Can you break down some numbers for me, Kaplan? Because I'm looking at Rokane. 31,000 player damage seems to be a lot. Because on the Baroness Hotel, you got players around 20K up to 24K.
Bro, it's Mirage. That's what we're telling you.
Well, no. It's not even that, right? It's, look on the other side. Look at Saya. 43,000 healing. All that damage Rokane was doing wouldn't stick because Sai would be able to put out
chip
so
damage.
much raw healing. Yeah.
I mean, that's like you mentioned, right? Like they picked a kicker when they drafted the Mirage, right? Because he's not the flashiest hero, but he has like basically the highest sustained damage output in the game. But Rokane is investing pretty heavily in like the tier 3, tier 4 survivability items, right? There's like a siphon bullets rather being picked up there. Of course, there's like Fort, and still able to do a ton of damage. So if Mirage gets time to do that damage, and there's not just a disgusting amount of Kelvin healing on the other side, they're really powerful. They're just not flashy, right? They're just workhorses. They sit in the back and they do this insane amount of damage. Obviously, it takes more than just those raw numbers though from your Mirage.
I want to give a shout out to Tulo Meach, who came over from Ido's stream saying Lefa can't beat Ido with his first message. Second message immediately after, Lefa got solo killed by Ido left lane. Third message comes less than a second later, can't handle the heat. Do we have a fanboy, or does Ido have a burner account in our chat, Jason Kaplan.
Oh,
Yeah, I think it's option 2 there for sure. He was playing and sending message in our chat while that was happening. I believe it.
Multitasking legend, 32 kills to 8 kills. That was a slobber knocker in favor of the pickup squad. They're staying on court. They're the kings of the court, and they're handing out 2-0s. Can they make it back-to-back dubs over Hydra Nation despite the new 6? Only time will tell. Final thoughts as we wrap up this one. Kaplan, did you have an MVP who stole your heart?
I might have had one. I think there was a player in there. Maybe
Just the Kelvin.
Messiah,
Bro, bro's gonna quit. Remember?
Just
If we
all the
didn't
Kelvins.
Glaze his homie. Yeah, look.
Okay.
Side
Definitely
deserved
wasn't
it.
the Mina, wasn't the Shiv. It was the Kelvin.
Yeah, how do you give it to the Kelvin? I mean, 40,000 healing is
Heals a lot. That's
Kelvin
a lot.
is busted. He's busted, bro.
Uber, on the other side, if we're going to tell the comeback story and finally a game 3 on a night of dominance, how does Hydra Nation get it done?
Try not to give Shiv Kelvin over, I think, is important. You probably need to contest that a little bit more. You've got to be careful. You can't let Grey Talon through, though. As a result, maybe like Pocket might be something worth trying to fold into your comps a little bit more here. But in general, you want to try and get out of a comfortable early game. Remember, Hydra Nation were always really, really good at being scrappy in the early game, and their macro was what won them games. But in NA, that's not really enough anymore. And you saw like Hydration is just doesn't have enough souls on that Abrams to really be a threat, really go anywhere. Is Jason telling his dog to shut up?
No, I'm talking to
crazy.
Puckett. I was like, is this guy going to stop talking so we can go to break so we can get this next game going sooner?
Oh, I was just thinking about like I've got even more to say, honestly.
But here's the cool thing. If I let Uber
staying
keep
around a little
rambling,
longer.
we don't break sometimes. We make
Yeah.
Solomon hold his pee in, which then brings a sense of urgency to every segment, the remainder of the show. Uber and I, we're veterans of this game. You know, we've been doing it for a long time.
And I'm kind of just like meandering down a thought path. And maybe you'll just join me here, Jason, for just a second, if you will. Maybe just
Let's
get yourself
waddle with him, bro.
Leffa had 0 objective damage in this game as Ivy, which is not a huge problem, but obviously it does mean that you're not really getting in a position to actually contest any of those objectives to push up that lane. We know that Ivy, obviously, in the early lane doesn't always have a huge amount of pressure. Kudzabom is pretty good later on for shoving up, but it can be tough to get started early. No objective damage means you're never really in a position to, again, try to go for those big soul repositories that are those objectives. Are you happy, brother? Are you happy, bro? I've been doing this for 15 years. Oh, I can go all day. That's a great emote. We can add that one.
I thought we'd go to break at some point here, but no, we're still going.
No, we can go. We can go.
I'm not going to break until we get 12 more subs. We're currently sitting at 838 subs on twitch.tv/Deadlock Night Shift. Big thanks
when it
to
gets to
everyone
the
who's
bottom
been
of the
supporting
screen,
us.
it's going to hit one of those bad buttons on my Go XLR
throughout
I'm just
the
telling you
evening.
right now.
Mutually
It's
assured
getting there,
destruction.
getting closer.
Interesting strategy. That's crazy.
Yep.
Fuck it. You got the call, buddy.
It's crazy. I might just have to throw to a break so Jason can stay employed. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Night Shift. Take your pee. We'll be right back.
He's still gonna hit it.
Sorry, ladies, he's off the market, but you too can get a framed Jason Kaplan autographed mustache stash for your stash next to your stash, if you know what I'm talking about.
He was so mad. And you know what I was saying was not even like low effort. It was actually kind of true. We didn't even talk about it, bro. Bro didn't care at that point what I was saying.
I thought you were doing great.
Right now for 100 gifted subs.
What, the mustache?
The mustache, not the hair. No, that requires a lot more because there ain't much
Just
left up
checking.
there.
Yeah, I just gotta know. I gotta know what your price is. You know what I'm saying? We're just gonna understand
How
the
much
market
to
rate.
get you to go full sideshow?
Yeah, would you
Like
do
5
that?
years. That's it.
5 years. Yeah.
Time will tell.
I have
Shout
a
out.
turkey plan this year though, so we'll see how that works out.
Shout out to all of our supporters. Uber got spotted. We're like on the subway and random people are like, hey, I think I know that guy from that thing. Yeah, Uber, if you didn't know, was working on Valorant earlier this week. Jason Kaplan was working on a Minecraft broadcast, and I was working on Call of Duty Mobile. But we're all here for Deadlock tonight.
Bro
and
was
for
not
great
actually on-
reason.
He wasn't
Yeah,
on
he
the
was on
Minecraft
Minecraft.
broadcast, was he?
Yeah,
Really? Jason?
yeah, dude, he was crushing it. You should
You wanna-
have seen him.
you wanna
Dude,
tell
he
us
had his
the
head
story?
gas, he was shaking
Square.
pigs around. It was pretty dope.
Thanks.
But now we have Intel, who's like, hey, we should give $1,000 to the best team in Europe and then another $1,000 to the best team in North America. And we used to think that this part of the show wasn't worth watching because Hydra Nation would just 2-0 everybody. Now they're getting bopped 3 weeks in a row. Are they about to get handed another 2-0? Is it a draft problem? Is it a game problem, Jason Kaplan?
I don't think it's a draft problem. I don't know. I don't really buy that as an excuse. Like, yeah, maybe the drafts last 2 weeks haven't been the best, but it's more about just the way they're playing these games out. I mean, they had a strong start. They got the first guard in that last game, but from there on, they completely lost control of that. They lost like 2 Guardians back to back, and it was a snowball against them. And you can't. I don't know if I like this ban though.
Contest the Kelvin
they get
shift,
first
please.
pick for Hydra Nation, so I would say you almost have to ban Kelvin, but then you're giving away GT, or you just leave it open so you get one of the two.
They're trying to ban the pocket because Baroness Hotel apparently has 3 incredible players. Dew was the player they gave the pocket last time, and he was dominant. Dew seemed to be pretty good on the shiv as well. Great talent in here, out of here. Is it a waste?
Do we have to take Kelvin away from Baroness Hotel here? I dead ass think we do.
That's what Lightbringer was saying, right? Like, if you're gonna go second and they don't ban GT or Kelvin first, you kind of have to leave them both open so you get one of them. And they ban GT and Hydra Nation. If you don't take Kelvin here, yeah, you're shooting yourself in the foot.
Vasmus, thank you for the sub. Kelvin was correct.
All right. Obviously, Kelvin is very powerful, and don't worry, there are like 4 people on Hydra Nation that can play this hero very well, so I'm not worried about that.
Do you have to run a shiv with him?
No. Kelvin's just insanely look. I mean, 40k healing when I think the highest amount of player damage was 30k in that game is you are erasing. You're erasing more than one player. You're playing 6v5. It's insanely freaking out. It's very busted. It's very good, guys. Kelvin's good.
So is Mina in the hands of Ido? We know he's going to be locking on the vampire lady. What's he playing with though?
Okay. They're going to break up the Kelvin Shiv, yeah. They don't want to spend a ban, I think, on the Shiv here if they can get it and make use of him themselves. I think both Kelvin and Shiv in a vacuum are still very solid. Shiv's always been a very NA-coded pick, though, especially over the last couple of months after, EU sort of trended away from that.
As important as this pick is, I was told by production, if we get 11 more subs, that'll put us at 850. That opens a new emote spot that we could then make the command stash pop up that creepy picture of Jason.
The Jason one.
Anytime we want, even if he's not working on the show.
11 subs is easy clap.
It's not hard. Not hard. Ivy gets locked in, by the way. Gun Ivy is back in a top 4 for the 5th game of the night.
That is crazy. And then, yeah, we'll get the emotes submitted for approval straight away, guys. So don't you worry about that. Okay, so Mo and Krill here going to be snapped up once more. Now, this is all happening long before we're talking about Paradox or Holiday. Like, Mo and Krill now. Yeah, low.
God damn it, we'll do.
Should have went higher than that.
Right?
No, well, no, it was almost at 850. Like, that was the milestone to get us the extra emote,
we got to 850. Also, the person who told me that we needed 11 is working on the show. Show some love to Lotu Dev, a legend behind the scenes who just spent his entire paycheck for the month on making sure that Jason's face could be around him more often.
Yo, Division and Cool Cheese got subs. Shout out my goats. Love that, dude. Wait, Sakisha got
Yamato being
That's
banned.
crazy.
Is that a big deal, or is that kind of a joke ban? What's going on here from the Baroness Hotel? Are they up that bad, guys? Are they throwing for a game 3?
Do they? Are they trying to get Doorman for the Baroness here for like Ido once again? I know he plays Mina, but to go Yamato, I mean, Yamato's not really a highly contested pick anymore, I'd say. Obviously, it's a pick that Roken could go for. It's a pick that AVG could go for. It's a pick that Ido could play.
What do you think about Yamato Kelvin lanes? Like, is that as oppressive maybe as what the Shiv can do in that setup?
I don't really think so, because I think the whole point of the Kelvin Shiv is once you get your ultimates online, you're going to kill that person in that dome because of the execute that you have. I mean, I think Yamato gives you some good poke as well, but she's just not as dominating in a lane that a Shiv could be. And I don't think she has that carry potential late game like a Shiv can with the ultimates, the clean blow maxed out with the resets.
It's unkillable, yeah. Shout out Ilias. XIV, the 14th. Ilias the 14th. Thank you. Quirky Panda with the Prime. Didn't come in. Thanks so much. Mirage gets picked up here by Baroness Hotel. It definitely feels like a second round pick. Still really good. We just saw what Rokan was able to do in that previous game. And now our initiators fall to this part of the draft to snap up. Paradox taken here by Hydra Nation.
Chat, when we get to 900 subs, that's about 4708. We get another emote. If you have an idea, please send them our way. We got some of the biggest brains and the fastest fingers on the whole internet working on the production end, and I'm told they can make it happen by next week. We got Lady Geist locked in. Is that a big deal, Uber?
I mean,
Pretty cool looking.
Yeah, look, I think if you want like decent sustain in those longer fights, someone who obviously really benefits from being in a Kelvin team, definitely going to be potent. I think if you want to have this strong front line, Mo and Krill, Lady Geist, Kelvin, this is pretty staunch. It can be tough to get through. Hydra Nation kind of have a little bit of everything they're looking for. What the heck is okay?
Game 3 is incoming.
Okay,
I'm calling it now. We haven't seen a successful drift.
That is true. I don't think he's won really any games.
Really?
In DLNS. I'd have to check my database, but I'm too lazy to open that up right now.
True.
Mo and Krill, though, I think Ranger's going to be playing this, and I wanted to point that out in particular for one reason, because we gave him a ton of credit 2 weeks ago when he was playing on Sneaky Golem for playing this very selfless Mo and Krill build to make sure that he could do what he needed to do for his team, was just to get ultimates, make them last as long as possible so they can get those into kills. I think it's a good start here for Hydra Nation, but they're up against now a cube out of Viscus. Mina can't silence a channeled ability, same with Silencing Wave. So if Mo and Krill gets the ability off, you can't stop it. I'm looking at this, I'm kind of favoring Hydra Nation. They have like a really sick comp for a majority of this game.
Hydra Nation forces a game 3. Is Baroness Hotel playing with their food? Or is it like last week when we thought they didn't know what they were doing and then they big brained us all? They know the game better than anyone else because they stream it so damn much, Uber.
This is like a Warden Kelvin lane is going to be disgusting. Maybe like it's like a Mo and
It's already
Krill
here.
Paradox
It's already
in mid.
in the chat. I love all of you.
know, that was so cool.
I love all of you. Sorry to distract from the draft. If you are over on YouTube, you don't have this amazing feature, but you can rewind and watch replays and stuff built into your platform. So I understand why you're there, but you're missing out on one of the most hideous emotes to ever grace Twitch.tv.
No, dude, I like it. Honestly, it's good. It really
just don't zoom in.
Honestly, I think that captures the best parts of Jason's face and leaves out maybe some of the stragglers. Yeah, I think it's
so. If we could get one, that's just Mitch's forehead, but I don't know if we can fit that into an emote.
Okay, just zoom out, bro. Just zoom out. We have the technology, man. It's not that hard. I have an aristocratic forehead, and it's fine.
We have the tech. Do we have the game production? Let's jump into the NA finals when we can. Light mode, dark mode. Pick which one you want. Shout out to the Deadlock 44 Stare. Go ahead and drop it into the chat. Thank you to all the subs. Thank you to all the members over on YouTube, and thank you to the Patreons. Reminder: we're playing video games with you this Sunday. Sign up on the Discord. We'll tell you how later. Right now, we got to focus on these 12 nerds playing with the keyboards and mouses and maybe even a trackball.
Right. Yeah, no, I don't know about it. A trackball's out in NA. That's a little bit too fruity for this region. But thank you very much, Chris Barker. We're going to jump into this second map of this best of 3. Hydra Nation's draft on paper looks pretty good, but it feels kind of classic. Warden, Geist, Paradox, Mo Krill, Kelvin. This feels like a return to the old days. I think Hydra Nation are hoping that their form also follows suit. Let's talk about, Jason, why you feel the Drifter has not found success so far in our night shift games.
I mean, he's a character that has endless scaling, but in competitive play like this, an organized play, I should say, you're not very often getting those isolated kills, which levels up his 3, which gives you the more damage over time. I think his ultimate in organized play is still insanely strong because you just basically blind anyone, which makes it really easy for your team to get in and catch an enemy, a team off guard, especially if you use it like paired with Veil Walkers. It's really hard to, I guess, play around that. But him as a hero right now, it doesn't do, I feel like, enough. I think he's a pub stomping hero, but he's not really an organized play hero at the moment.
Yep. Okay. Obviously, I think like being able to just secure bonus damage off Rend is really important part of this kit. So I'm glad you sort of bring up the Veil Walker synergy. Obviously, Stalker's Mark gets you in, but it doesn't really give you a way out. So you've got to be a little bit careful. And here, see already, it was probably bound to be a tough lane for the Drifter, especially up against. So it's a Geist Kelvin. That's actually pretty that might violate the Geneva Convention. This particular lane.
It's a lot of hope.
I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, it
like
is, and it's a lot of sustain.
The SS bombs. Yeah.
Even if you get on them, like even if you Mr. Blaze. Let's go.
Okay, that was
this guy.
He's just spreading the stare love in chat. Wants everyone to be able to pop my mustache in chat whenever they want to.
Can I get a whole wall of Jason's face? No chatting. You can sub, but other than that, I just want Jason's face in the chat for the next minute. A moment of recognition to the incredible
Bro, I
donations.
can't even do it right in chat. God damn it, bro. I'm out of myself. Can't even use the emote. Dude, I can't even Triforce, man.
An idea here, just for the future. Even though he's not in this program and isn't even this game, Sideshow versus Jason Kaplan, Mo 1v1. Loser has to shave the mustache. That's it.
Dude, no. Sideshow has an edge though because he's been really working on the twirling. Like he's got the twirling look going on, like Oktoberfest vibes. Whereas Jason's got like I'm your abusive uncle vibes. So
Oh, I thought you were gonna go with like I'm your daddy vibes, but I guess we can go with yours.
Yeah, I don't know.
Sideshow kind of looks like a bowler who wears really tight pants.
Yes, or well, there's guys that used to wear like suspenders and the striped shirts, right? The boxers, the old boxers.
Yeah.
You know, like why I order, you know, like how they would square up on the streets of New York. Yeah, that's what
Bronson style. I got you.
Exactly, dude. All right, we digress though, in case that wasn't obvious. Yeah. John getting chunked down. So, you know, this lane, curious to see like what the implication now is of like having to take the Drifter into this lane, and can the Baroness Hotel feel like they've put training weights on a little bit here or handicap themselves somewhat. Thank you very much, Scorpion, for the gifted tier 1. Some of these other assignments as well for Hydra Nation, they got that Warden in that mid lane, and yeah, those frost grenades are going to keep raining on him. It's going to be very hard.
That's the big thing there. Like, there's no healing now for John. He almost has to go back to base, and look how low Do is. Like, they pretty much have to give this Guardian up. The pressure from the range poke that Rokane and Ranger have is just too much.
It is getting rough out here. Low main goes down. So not exactly what Hydra Nation were looking for now. And we talked about this. Mirage, of course, that constant pressure being put down on AVG because he cannot with impunity just walk out and Alk Flask everything that he would like to. And Saya going to boost his way back in that base direction, most likely. Do caught out here a little bit. This is a little compromising as the defenders have turned up to assert their right to keep control of this Guardian. Given the guys might struggle to get away. Rokane, though, slides on out of there.
I'm trying to think I think they almost need to swap their mid lane over here. Like, put Mirage Viscous over this left lane. But this poke is insane. Like, you just can't escape it. You almost need to buy extra stamina just to continue to dodge away. And you're seeing the poke consistently come through. The healing and sustain they're going to have in that lane as well, especially if you go for Radiant Regeneration for Rokane. This lane for Hydra Nation could potentially just carry the game for them with how it's going so far.
I mean, yeah, both these left and mid lanes, Jason, are looking pretty tough. And even, I guess, like a stronger lane for Baroness Hotel on the right. They've not been able to get a whole lot of Guardian damage there either. I think this mid lane, though, is pretty volatile, especially as ultimates get online, right? They're starting to do so now. Sai is first with a goo ball at the ready, but Paradoxical Swap's going to be able to start off engagements. We might see rotations into this lane by the Shiv, for example, of Dew. Rokane already at 3.4k souls, AVG 3.3. So this mid lane looking pretty good for Hydra Nation. And the Baroness Hotel on this right side of the map, no, they have to have a landslide victory here.
I just like how they kind of realize the urgency of they're eventually going to lose their left lane at the rate this is going. So they almost need to counter push on this right side so they can match things and keep things equal. And that's a great use of the Sanguine. Help me out here. Sanguine retreat.
Yep, Sanguine retreat.
My man.
Perfect.
It's actually, well, it's a Sanguine advance, I guess, in this case, trying to use the Nox Nostra on top of it, looking to push Hydration out of this fight immediately. And actually, it's not going to be Ranger on the Moa and Krill. It's actually going to be him on the Kelvin. So I'm wondering if Hydration will go for more of like a damage build and not so selfless, since Ranger will kind of need to do so on the Kelvin anyways.
Yeah.
But yeah, this counter push and aggression out of Baroness Hotel, I think it's a really good read into what they need to do, because they know this left lane won't survive for much longer.
Yeah, exactly. It definitely feels uncomfortable for them. But I kind of like Baroness Hotel trying to negotiate from a position of power on this left, right? When they do have those health pools in order to get some good shove up there. Just try not to take too much free damage. But unfortunately for Ranger, there is just so many opportunities to hit that one, throw out those grenades, and be a nuisance. That's a render up close by John, but it barely causes range to stop.
Jason, request from the chat. Can you identify how well is Ranger playing on the Kelvin? He is the player filling in for Hydra Nation this week. The new addition is the new comp working out.
The comp so far, I mean, I think they're doing what they're supposed to do on the left lane. They're already really successful getting their early kill over on To-Do. I would like to see them take this tower to kind of free up Ranger to help out these other lanes, and then again be this like really snowballing force into the other lanes. But I think so far, I mean, the drafts look good in both games. I'd say it's looked good throughout the whole day. I think so far it's been good for them, but I have to see them. I don't know. I wanted to say I have to see them win today, but to be honest, with Ranger only joining a few days ago, I don't want to be that harsh on them. I think it takes a little bit of time to get used to each other.
Oh, that is crazy. There through the middle part of the map. Baroness Hotel actually getting pretty aggressive, and Sire was quite fed there, but just got rooted in place. I think it was Binding Word and, maybe set up there by the Carbine that, it was pretty easy just to pick Sire off. It's that early lane for Ivy being quite difficult that we continue to see surface in these games. So it is going to be loss of the Guardian on this right side of the map. It's much the same is going to happen, I think, on that left eventually. But there's a window here. There's a power play moment for the Baroness Hotel now to try and, I guess, just manifest this edge on the right side of the map elsewhere. Like try and maybe impose themselves on other parts of the map. Maybe even that mid Guardian now with 3 players. A player rotating in from the right could be big.
I think the best case is you just leave Hydra to farm. I talked about last game how Letha was doing really well in farming. He was the only one on his team because he was left alone for the most part. Ido kept up with him. I think you send Scout away to go join some of these other lanes to look for some more Guardians and then use that to snowball from here after. But we see the Dome come through as well as a swap onto Do. Already a good start here out of Hydra Nation to turn this fight around.
Yeah, also life drain there, of course, could be quite powerful for Rokane inside that frozen shelter as it is already. Ranger goes down. Do they want to pick him up? Wait a minute. Oh, Rokane realizes they've bit off more than they could chew. And again, we are just going to circle back for the kill. Do was quite low.
It's a John. Sorry, I want to point that out because if he gets the kill, he gets the extra damage on his 3, which is massive. But how does Do survive that?
I mean, again, we know that Shiv has gotten himself out of some pretty ridiculous situations. Bloodletting is insane. That I think the damage deferring is something that is really easy to underestimate, especially when you can clear the deferred damage on activation. So sometimes you think that Shiv is low and it looks like a tasty morsel and they just don't die. That health bar just doesn't move. It's very frustrating.
There's just one more hit, and I think that's why you saw, Rokane commit so deep and for so long right there. Now, John, he's the one under attack with Dude trying to save him. He can see 300 HP left for Ranger here. Frustrated comes through to heal him up, but he's got to be so careful he doesn't get caught by anything else.
Yeah, John just couldn't quite get to his intended target here, but this is a good sign for the Baroness Hotel. They've been able to extricate themselves from a pretty weak situation on this left side, and they still have control of that Guardian. Do now is going to have to give up probably a lot of their health as a resource in order to protect this, but they're going in. Cold fronts are being popped by everyone. Now a bit of a standoff around the box here as the Essence Bomb being thrown at Do to try and waylay him as much as possible. Do is so desperate for this kill and will have it when it's going to be very, very low. Still not able to be finished though by Rokane. That's super worth.
Yeah, and I think overall it's actually turned into a win for the Baroness Hotel on this left lane, considering they lost 2 players. All right, let's at least Do early on. We do see Hydration coming with the combo, looking for the range, but Do just barely gets out of that one. That was almost a guaranteed kill if he's able to land that one. And this left Guardian, it should be going down this next wave. There's no way you can defend against this. So at least Hydration able to respond with their own Guardian take. In the meantime, the Baroness Hotel, though, they've grouped up 4 players towards the right-hand side. So I would imagine there's a world where they push this mid lane Guardian in the next few moments.
Now, I think what's important is contesting. I think the window the Baroness Hotel got from that early Guardian take, it came around like that 8-minute mark, right? So ideally, they've tried to make use of that to steal the Sinner or something like that, contest that to some degree, because the 8-minute mark is where we really started to see this fighting kick up a notch. Hydra Nation looking to drift across the map here from the right side as they can definitely sense things are getting a little frothy through that mid lane. And we're going to be on board with the low main, of course, as those buffs are about to be contested. So looks like Scout will have this one uncontested. They'll pick up that survival buff. On the right, maybe there's a little bit more consternation about it, but no big fight off the back of it.
He's coming, though. Scout's looking for a fight over on this left-hand side. Doesn't get the ideal position, though, to get a charge into a kill. Again, he doesn't want to be domed off or comboed by Hydration here, so he has to respect this. But the urn can be picked up, and with the left guard already being taken, it's not like they really have the threat of losing anything on this left lane if they do commit for the urn turn it.
I think Hydra Nation are trying to trade this for some Porker pressure. Maybe they're still shoving on that the left-hand side, rather. Idorian, though, here on the right with a Nox Nostra use there. Makes things uncomfortable for Ranger. He's chunked down and doesn't appear to be in a position to fight. Lefa had to airdrop the Kelvin out of there. This would have opened the way up for the urn were it not dropped as Scout went towards mid and maybe noticed an opportunity to take a favorable fight. There was some walker damage taken on the left-hand side as a result of that urn take. Hydra Nation still have 2 players over there.
I do like how they didn't commit for that kill on Ranger because they knew if they got caught in a dome, it could be spelling the end of them. Low main's able to get a kill onto DMB as we do see the chase down out of Scout over onto AVG. He's got his charge up. He doesn't land it. And they get the kill onto him. Wow.
Sorry, it just turns out. Okay, bro. Glad you can make it. Oh, dangerous. That is bad. Seismic slam on towards low main. This guy is in deep trouble. And somehow the Baroness Hotel have been able to get potentially another kill here. That is a pretty sick frozen shelter. And it does give at least a stay of execution to low main, because the Baroness Hotel do not want to dive underneath this Guardian. Great save by Ranger. Important moment here for Hydra Nation. It ends up being a 1-for-1, but they do lose this mid Guardian.
They might lose the right-hand Guardian, though. Left is still pushing away. No one's there to defend. Ido, quick in pursuit, trying to protect this one, but there's no chance this will fall. And that is the flex that unlocked. The first time we've seen in, I want to say, like the last 2 weeks, that Hydra Nation have been able to get the first flex slot of the game for themselves over their opponents.
Yeah. Struggle Town. Make no mistake. And now that dropped earn from earlier is going to be contested. Pocket.
Saw some big questions in the chat. What is this Mo skin? Jason Kaplan, for those who have never heard of Deadlock and Night Shift, how do they get their own Mo?
Well, if you head over to our public Discord server, type in ! Discord, you can find it in the announcement section. We had Ozzy make us a custom skin. He did the original Deadlock Fight Night one. This one, it's for DLNS, and also the Scorn is the DLNS logo on the ground. So you definitely want to. I've seen a lot of people using
That's
it.
sick.
There it is.
Cool.
Shout out to Ozzy Line.
Yeah, I mean, that's great. Get in the game. Get yourself that Night Shift. Look at it. Oh my God. Is that an insignia on the breast pocket? That's so nice. In the meantime, though. Yeah. Saya picked off, though. That is the Visky's falling by the wayside. There should be a response here. A good collapse coming across from DMB, though. Now, no Traveler available.
The little glasses on Krill as well.
And they've done God's work here. We have to get more of those commissioned, I think. More. I want more. Look at this. Look at how they're contesting this Sinners. That is so interesting. Yeah, and this is what you want to do as Hydra Nation. We talked about their macro gameplay being pretty ship-shape, and honestly, they found themselves with a 3k soul lead now, fighting full control of the Baroness Hotel's Sinner's Sacrifice, and being able to take it away in its entirety is going to be frustrating for the Amber side.
Really early pickup here. Silence Wave for Ranger. I'm trying to think, who are they trying to punish with that? Obviously, Silence Wave, you can't tornado away, you can't charge away.
Ido to make so he can't sanguine retreat away?
Well, I think there's like four decent, I guess 5 decent targets, because you can prevent the cube as well if you catch Saya. So you're basically trying to commit the kill, maybe without the frozen shelter, and then use that for someone else. But Scout, you had no chance when there's 3 ultimates being used against you here in the enemy jungle. I don't hate the pickup.
I mean,
I want to see it get value.
Is it just good stats outside of the active, or is it really just something you need to like get actual value out of, right? Because I mean, it's only bonus health, right? I guess. Yeah, it does shred that spirit resist. Maybe that is something you favor, kind of similar to Tank Buster. Maybe you can stack
it
those
helps,
up.
right? Because you have AVG's Last Stand is going to do spirit damage. You have the combos going to do spirit damage. You have anything from Rokane's going to be spirit damage. It does help with that, but I think it's more about the silence to prevent anyone from having any sort of escape. I think it gives you like the potential for 2 kills, so you don't have to commit the frozen shelter and the silence wave together. But also like make it so you can't cube someone. That's going to confirm a kill in a dome as well. But we know Ranger, he plays selfless builds, so it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I rate it though. We'll see how much of a factor it's going to be now. You'll notice obviously it's a soul lead for Hydra Nation, and that's with all sets of those Guardians down. So they've been able to just gain that lead based on those kills. Buffs coming up here. Saya really would like this one, and it's going to give a significant pull, part of their health in order to take that casting buff away. So they'll retreat. Looks like it was also Baroness Hotel buff on the left, but unclear. Well, yep, survival buff here for John. That doesn't suck at all. A macro win here for Baroness Hotel, and you'll start to shove these lanes up. It's a still 4k lead. This earn is definitely going to be a bit of an inflection point in that regard, Jason.
I think this earn's actually be quite important. 15 minutes in, neutral turn in, and it doesn't really look like Hydra Nation are set up in a way to contest it, leaving Ido to push on the right hand side. He's going to get flanked by by 4 players.
Oh, yeah, I think this has been given up here by Hydra Nation. At least, yeah, that's the case.
Our souls are tied.
There you go. Earn pick up. And what Hydra Nation's supposed to get for this? Ido kept them busy. It looks like he was sprinkling catnip over the cursed apple on the right side of the map, because Hydra Nation now shoving 3 players in the direction of that walker. It doesn't look like the Baroness Hotel can reciprocate in that regard. Maybe mid walker can be pressured down, but Ido here is trying to get those heads turned away from his objectives. It's just dangerous play from him, but Sanguine Retreat means that he can just get out scot-free.
He's keeping the wave away, though, so they can't push anymore because there's no wave left on the walker. So by taking it off yeah, it's really brave to do. But I think with obviously the survivability you have on Mina with a Sanguine Retreat, he feels confident to do so. And that means they get really no damage done to the walker, even without having players to defend against it from the Baroness Hotel. So very smart play. And he's going to go right back to pushing. He does have Psy off to the side to help him out, but it's just going to be basically a 2v2 fight. So I don't really expect much damage being done, but it feels like this game's on a breaking point. Like both teams are so hesitant to force a fight.
Just on the macro level, though, I feel like it's crazy that the Baroness Hotel get a free earn for nothing. And look at this Nox Nostra. Just, yeah, that is pretty brutal. Although, Arctic Beam definitely going to make it a little bit dangerous for Idorian, but, well, Mina spends much of her time just floating anyway, as Nox Nostra allows her to maintain her altitude. So pretty easy for her to get away. Now, I think they're looking for Saya here. Kinetic Carbine. Yeah, no connection before that ability timed out for low main, so they're going to get away. But there's a last stand here. This is pretty scary. Binding Word won't catch Saya out, but this gun damage will definitely lay them pretty low. That is a big ultimate teased out of AVG and no kill as a result.
Saya just barely escapes that one too. I think like AVG misses like 1 or 2 bullets that would have been enough to finish him off. And the thing is, Saya's kind of fallen behind. Like him and Scout both at 13k. I mean, luckily they have Ido on 21,000, who is just starting to snowball so far ahead of everyone else. And at least Saya, as a Viscous, will still have value with his Q. I mean, he still does a lot of damage with Express Shot, but I think Scout is in the trouble spot, only at 13k. But with Eternal Night coming through, they're looking for a kill here. This is the taking away vision from your opponents. Help.
Look at the Warden. Bro, this is dangerous for Hydra Nation. This game's balanced on a knife edge. An inflection point is what we said earlier on, and now looks like there might be a bit of a brawl in the middle part of the map. Cube here for John. A little bit dangerous trying to get away, but the frozen shelter is going to prevent this. Yeah, I mean, prevent the Drifter from doing anything at all. That is unfortunate now. Hurricane and Hydration healthy enough, and Do was also caught within that vicinity. So Baroness Hotel just give up 2 kills there, and yeah, not looking to flash after that one.
There's no way they actually go for mid here, right? They're just going for the pickup.
Box run? Yeah. They definitely getting some attention. Oh. Okay, so John not back for another 5 seconds or so. This could just be to tease someone out of formation. Baroness Hotel are going to be very careful here. There comes the scream from the mid-boss. Yeah, Ido is getting in there. Left has already been taken down. That's the Ivy out the game. This is looking a little bit dangerous, but Sire is going to be picked up. Ranger's low. Rokane also seeing better days and doesn't have Soul Exchange available. So this is a bona fide low health Lady Geist. Idorian, though, got snarled up, dragged down. Too many Hydra Nation players surrounded them, gummed up the works. And now low main is going to head upstairs, going to continue to be disruptive. That Scout down. John comes back off respawn here, but I think this gambit has failed for the Baroness Hotel. They might still be a factor late in the fight. Last stand, though, for AVG is dangerous. That's hard to traverse through. Rokane picked up. Good mobility here from Do. Another pickup on Hydration, and all of a sudden now you're going to turn tail and run. AVG realizes this could be dangerous to hang around in. John's back in the game, and again, has this Warden isolated. AVG knows he can't fight this sort of threat. John, though, has to be careful as well, especially now with Leffa returning to the fight. No mid-boss take, though. Saya's going to be returning. Ido's also back off respawn, and AVG gets picked off. That's the trade, though. Leffa gets that elimination. And the Baroness Hotel don't look like they want to fight any further.
They're going to take... Oh, my God. Nox Nostra's up for Ido. They could just snipe this one away. Okay, they're not going to go for it. Oh, my God. Dude, you cannot be doing that. How does he come out in a 1v3 with 2 kills like that? Actually completely saves the fight for his team and keeps them at a 1k soul advantage. Earn is going to be looked at out of both teams, but an insane play over at mid.
I mean, the slice and dice cooldown reduction is pretty insane as well. It felt like Do was able just to jump back and forth in that fight. And again, we just know how powerful Shiv is. When that rage is built up, it is terrifying.
As our players need a second, a quick reminder, we are 12 subs away from the next emote over on twitch.tv/Deadlock Night Shift, and this is the final week of September. So if you wanted to sub and save up to 30% off, now is the time. Reminder, if you have Amazon Prime, you have a free sub. Drop your Prime sub right here in the chat, and you'll feel richer than you did before you did it. You'll feel like Jason Kaplan after he finally shaves that gross thing growing on his face.
What the hell?
Thoughts?
Did my wife pay you to say that? if she wants me to get rid of it.
Yeah, look, I mean, it's a look, bro. Don't get me wrong. It works, but it works if you...
It's the only facial hair I can grow.
Yeah, I know, dude. I know, but like, you look like you're an American football coach that's flying to England to coach a soccer team. That's what you look like.
So I'm going to a better game?
Ted Lasso.
I mean,
Better
Ted
sport.
Lasso.
Yeah, thank you.
We missed
Ted Lasso
this.
reference.
Jason's
yeah.
Dick. I mean, my name's Jason.
Yeah, that's facts. That was honestly kind of a sick fight. I'm not going to lie. And as the dust settles, rather, it's still a parody in terms of souls. I'm still wondering though how John's supposed to sort of form part of this strategy for the Baroness Hotel, because it feels like the Drifter just gets instantly nuked in some of these fights. But this is pretty crazy. This is already shaping up, Jason, to be a pretty exciting finish to the game, and we are still balancing on that knife edge. We just have teams now retreating to their own sides of the map here just to farm these sinners and get these camps.
So I'm gonna just like theorize here, just out loud, but I feel like the Drifter might just be a response to the Kelvin and like Mo and Warden, just because of his ultimate. I think if you pop that Eternal Darkness, it makes it really difficult for Ranger to kind of know where his teammates are, to know and enemies are, to put down an ideal frozen shelter. And I think it's kind of similar to like Hydration AVG. When you're popping your ultimates, you don't know where the enemies are. And I think it's a decent counter to how those work. And I know obviously communication at this level is much different than what you get in your normal games. But I think it does add a bit of difficulty for Hydra Nation to make everything work well together to confirm a lot of these kills.
Yeah. Big shout out, of course, to Hyposes and Descrate. Thank you very much for the subs. We are now 9 subs away from 1,000. Make it 8. Blue Shell, thank you very much for the Prime as well. If you got Primes, may as well spend them here because we aren't going anywhere, folks. Don't worry. There won't be any random name change and brand change in the near future. We've ensured that won't be required. So stick around. We're here for the long haul.
Next week we're
that thing
on break for 2 weeks.
Yeah, okay. The hiatus. Well, I mean, we'll be back after that, right?
We're buying fedoras, boys. We're definitely coming back.
Yeah, deadass. Yeah, I haven't worn a fedora in years.
We're getting a wardrobe budget. I've been on Amazon and Temu all night.
Dude, Shein though, you got to get Shein. Actually has some crazy. If you only want to wear a piece once because it just chafes your nipples really badly because it's made out of polyester, that's the place to go to. This
I do like a good nipple chafing.
So I do not get panicked player DMs. There's no break. We are coming live.
And ZP is so fired up for the polyester, everybody.
Here, like,
bro,
my
it's
Discord
crazy.
will blow up because of this. We're good for next week.
This show has added like 10 years to CP's age, and it was already getting up there, bro. That is crazy, bro.
There's a new wrinkle, and it's not on his face.
That's crazy. That's crazy. All right, Leffa inside the frozen shelter here. Ranger keeping him in the fight. Ido, the one going quite low here, trying to get away. This is looking dangerous. So Seismic Slam comes on in from Scout, looking for a proper fight. Leffa's going to be able to airdrop on out of there, but it's not the engagement the Hydra Nation were looking for. Perhaps, though, this one's a little bit better. Big damage coming on the DMB. Earn take behind this now as John is buying, so that's not ideal. It's not really anywhere it needs to be. Attempted Earn turning now. Puddle Punch knocked him up. Do finally going down, and this time they're not able to be a real menace in these longer fights, and they're 40 seconds away from returning to the Cursed Apple. Not ideal as Hydra Nation now have that player advantage. Leffa was able to avoid the gank attempt, and that's a nice little shoulder charge there onto the Mo and Krill, but now DMB has fallen, and the Baroness Hotel might want to cut their losses.
Yeah, they have to back away from this one. No way you can continue to fight that out, though. Honestly, credit to Scout in that fight. He's able to force Leffa out pretty quickly with just the melee over and over again, which prevented a lot of damage and probably could have made it a lot worse if they weren't able to force him to fly off the bat like that. But the Urn does get turned in. You see John trying to push the mid lane while all this is happening to distract him. Saya, he's got to be very careful here because the mid boss has already screamed once. And that's going to be Hydra Nation immediately going for the take.
Yeah, all right. Mid boss is being looked at now as good as time as ever, to be sure. Tough for the Baroness Hotel to have much to say about this. Nick Central, thanks for the Prime. Appreciate it. And this will be an uncontested pickup. That last fight, Baroness Hotel just trying to contort themselves into a number of different shapes to make this composition work for them. Was not pretty, that is for sure. Saya trying to get a Warden, a Walker for his trouble, and he does so. Nice pickup here for the Baroness Hotel. Keeps those souls relatively even, but it'll come at the cost of their Viscous.
Still pretty big, though. A lot of map control. And again, the souls really aren't too far off now between the two teams, but this is Hydra Nation's chance to attack and look to take it to a third map. They're easily going to look to barrel down on this left lane Walker, and Dude's got to be careful not to overextend. He is pretty much by himself. I do at least keep the wave away for now. In the meantime, Ido is going to be away from his team, looking to farm out the mid lane, and he might come in from the side with 31,000 souls and a Nox Nostra. He could put down some serious damage. But the not the mid boss, the rune spawning and the buffs. It's like Left is going to get the security of the survival, and the movement actually be quite nice for Ido, to be fair.
Yeah, that is
stamina mastery too.
Yep, bro is going to be in midair basically constantly. It's the walker take here, though. Eventually, Hydra Nation with these rejuve buffs are going to make some use of it. Do the Baroness Hotel want to intervene here? Can they afford to actually take a fight? Looks like they might have found Left for a little bit isolated here towards the middle part of the map. Now, they do have airdrop to get away, but it's dangerous. They're trying to go for the Stone Idol here. Maybe there's some backup that we're not aware of for Leffa. In they come. Nox Nostra going to silence him for a brief time. The love bites are hitting, but Ido is picked off by Rokane. So he gets back into the fight. And that was probably the Baroness Hotel's best chance of picking off an isolated player. But there were too many Hydra Nation players in close proximity to reinforce.
I mean, Left is hitting this critical mass point at 32,000 souls. You see he was able to tank through that damage of John and Ido coming through. I think there's a slight misplay, though, because Ido got stunned up by the Stone Idol, which means he wasn't able to put out the damage right after he came out of it. And I think that would have been enough for the kill. But either way, Leffa does survive that, and he's hit a very high threshold of souls that becomes very difficult for anyone to 1v1 him anymore. Even the 1v2 you saw, he just won.
Chat, we're only 5 subs away from a new emote. We need some new ideas to get it done. Put them in the chat right now. I have a feeling we have a game 3 coming.
I mean, there are so many. We mentioned like one of my forehead earlier on there. I do think we need a pocket like in glasses emote. In Sunny's. I think that one definitely needs to go.
I left him at Disney World, bro. I'm shattered.
No way.
Gotta buy some new ones.
Yeah, the migraines gonna hit a little bit diff, bro. You gotta be careful. All right, here's that urn, making its way, of course, towards that turning location. Little putter punch to disrupt, but Hydration. Oh, he wasn't born yesterday. Seen that one before. So safe turn in for Hydra Nation. Not only do they get the walker off the back of this rejuve buff, but they get a relatively uncontested urn, and immediately the Baroness Hotel. Every time you look at them right now, they're flinching back to their side of the map, back to their safe jungle, as they weren't able to find a chance to isolate and neutralize an individual.
I mean, Ido still feels aggressive to at least feel safe to push out these lanes by himself, and has a lot of mobility, has a lot of safety. But he cannot afford to go down, because if he's dead, I think the Baroness Hotel just crumble. They basically need him at this point, and you see so many silencing waves.
I don't know how they get back into the game, the Baroness Hotel. Like, I don't think they want a long game against this Hydra Nation comp.
So quick.
I think that's bad. You know, like it's a Mercurial Magnum here for AVG, by the way. So looking very, very scary. The scaling from Hydra Nation is just, it's messed up, man. They can do so. We haven't talked about this Ivy being a factor in the late game. Ido could basically go wherever they please. They've got such great mobility, but when it comes to actually fighting, that's the problem. Scout, fortunately, does not have the benefit of a mobility buff, so they get caught out. And there it is. Flex slot opened up. One more to go here for Hydra Nation, as that is the final walker crumbling.
Yeah, but this is going to be another flex slot opened up now for the Baroness Hotel, taking this walker. This reminds me exactly of what happened when they lost the Sneaky Golem too, because they got caught overcommitting to these just random pushes. But this one's going to work out, but Dude's going to have to retreat back to base. Maybe actually push the base guards. There's a fight happening towards middle as well. As
John's getting worked, bro. It's just not happening for him. He's like 10k souls behind Leffa. Obviously, you know, drips are pretty good against isolated targets. Not the gun Ivy, apparently. Zaya caught out by a combo, picked up, and this is going to allow Hydra Nation to maintain the pressure right on the doorstep of the Baroness Hotel.
Yeah, I almost want to call this game now. 30,000 soul difference too. I mean, you saw the Nox Nostra out of Ido when they were defending the right lane walker. Did nothing. Wasn't able to kill anyone. Low main just tanked through it completely on his 32,000 souls. I mean, if the Paradox on the other side has the same amount of souls as you know you're having a bad time now. And Hydra Nation, it looks like they've been able to bounce back from that devastating loss in the first match here to take it to a third.
Yeah, I think there are a number of reasons for this, but their lane look much better. Oh, Nox Nostra there's going to claim Ranger. That's 70 seconds out of the game for him. It's pretty scary. But in response, John and Sire were taken down. We're out of the game, and there's Ido now gone for 70 seconds himself. This is the Baroness Hotel. They've been doing what they can to try and stay in this game, but it's gotten a little bit too far out of their control. Shrine on the right now, it's going to be taken, and the Amber base will be open for the taking. Patron going to be knocked here, and Hydra Nation likely will double back and wait for a Ranger to join them just in case, but they're in a very good position. Well, that combo is going to shut the shoulder charge down on the spot.
Yeah, and I think Hydra Nation to go back into the fight here and just finish this one off as well, because they can commit to this. They don't have rejuve anymore. They do have a decent man advantage, though. It looks like Hydration is going to back off. The rest of the team hasn't done just yet. John, I really want to see the stats, and I'm not harshing on him, but I don't think he really did do much. With the focus lens picked up as well, he's looking for those 1v1s and looking to burst someone down in time, but I just don't think he has the damage here.
I mean, that was evidenced, I think, of that little engagement with Leffer earlier on. Yeah, I mean, okay, in fairness, it's kind of hard to kill Leffer as there's a bullet siphon making its way into the build. There's actually, there's a lot of very good sort of sustain-based items. Lucky Shot, obviously, remember, like, there's a chance for bonus damage on here, like 25% to get 125%. So that's crazy. Also, it just increases your max ammo. So basically, you never have to reload. It's just a nice cherry on top, really.
And this is the attempt too out of Baroness Hotel. Go for the urn, turn it in, catch up in souls, but they get caught out and they get forced into a fight that they really don't want. The thing is, like, with only 4 players, you have to just commit to a fight right now because you know you can't defend your own base.
Knockdown's a pretty good item, hey? In the combo.
Was it knockdown or was it?
No, I think it was just was that a combo?
You can combo. The combo like has no vertical height limit apparently, so you can combo people who are directly above you from the ground.
What? He's for real. There was no knockdown at all. You're dead right.
Knockdown. It could have been. I don't remember seeing it though.
Yeah, I did see them slowly drifting down, but I think you're right. That's kind of cracked, honestly. Anyway, there it is, folks. It is 1 apiece now. That's game.
I'm digging this, man. You know, what's so crazy to me about this, Uber, is you think back to the last year in Deadlock that we've been doing this now a very long time. It was like a meme to watch the NA games. It was always a joke because it was always so one-sided. Hydra Nation would just smash everyone out there. Eventually, we had melee creeps rise to legitimately beat them, and then they eventually fell once again. It was always about EU as having the best teams, but man, NA is turning out to be one of the most favorite regions for me because every week it seems like there's a new team that can contest the best and the best of the region.
Kaplan, I saw a message. It was over on youtube.tv/Deadlock Night Shift that said, "Your father is Kramer from Seinfeld." True or false?
No comment.
No comment.
For him to be like a tall Danny DeVito, you know?
That would be pretty incredible to look at. In the meantime, we should take a look at some of these highlights because we're going to a game 3. Chat, apply. You are right. We're going the distance. Hydra Nation not folding as expected. A lot of people are saying they're done. Then they apologized midway through the game. Was it big brain engagements? Was it outplaying mechanics? What was the difference in this game number 2, Kaplan?
Kelvin. I honestly think it was just Kelvin, man.
Whoever gets the Freezy Boy wins?
I mean, not necessarily, but it just feels like there were too many impactful frozen shelters where they were so close to turning a kill and it just turned things around. But it also split up the Baroness Hotel. I think it was just too difficult to deal with for them, and they didn't have the coordination they needed of like a buff enjoyers to use these silence waves to kill Ranger before he can get a frozen shelter off.
Chat was blaming Drifter. Was he the solo problem in the Baroness Hotel's game plan?
No, I think that also like this this Mirage lane for Baroness Hotel I think is the most important one in the game plan for them, because they're probably expecting to lose the Drifter lane, right? You're against not just Kelvin, you're against Kelvin Geist, so like you just don't win that lane, right? It's fine to have a weak lane. Leffer is on the right side, okay? That is a weak lane for Hydra Nation. It's really bad, but you're losing 2 out of 3 lanes here because your sort of Mirage lane just loses out. And honestly, there's some pretty close fights. It just doesn't really break in favor of the Baroness Hotel. And then, yeah, John unfortunately is just not able to do anything. Like, we're trying to solo roam because there are so many parts of this game where it could go either way. Puckett. And unfortunately, the Drifter difference just isn't felt. It doesn't seem like the pick that, you know, the Baroness Hotel needed there.
Chat, let me know. Do you think it's Ido and the Baroness Hotel taking game 3? Or is it Hydra Nation with hydration on the Mo? Say Mo or Mina in chat. Let us know which way you got this one going. It's a game 3. Double it up on the kills this time. Hydra Nation, 216,000 net worth to the 183K. And if you're zooming in on your cell phone, don't worry. Kaplan's got all the big numbers you need to worry about right here for you.
It's kind of against Rokane if you look at it. Most
look at the Rokane healing.
And the healing, of course. Like the Mystic regen is massive, especially when you're playing against teams that are kind of grouped up because your S's bomb procs it every single time. Ranger's still on 28k healing. So if we talked about in the last game, you know, Saya putting out 40k healing, Rokane and Ranger together put out 58,000, which if you look on the other side, it pretty much eliminates 2-3 players in some cases if you look at them.
Radiant Regeneration is such a a troll ability item rather. It is just insanely powerful, man. Every time like you're getting like stacks of like bonus health regen if you're in like a fight spreading that damage. It's a sick item. It's so rare to see a Lady Geist have more healing than a Kelvin in a one game.
Dumb question from the Call of Duty guy. There's an anti-heal item, right? Like you can make sure they stop healing. Yeah. All right. Chat mentioned
look at the other
Maybe
side. I don't
of that next
see a
game.
heal bane.
Chat's got big brains. I just act like they're my thoughts. Shout out to everyone who is pouring in. We are done with EU, but if you are on YouTube, you can just scroll back during the break, but then you might miss the start of the NA game. So you might as well stay for the end of the NA game, then rewind all the way back to the beginning of the broadcast and watch the whole thing over again. Or you can go over to youtube.com/Deadlock Night Shift and watch the VODs that are posted immediately after by Jason Kaplan. He also cuts out all of our interviews. He picks out the best moments and does little breakdowns of the best items you guys can buy. Kaplan, what other content do you make? Is it ASMR or what were you doing with the
That's me
rubber
normally.
duckies?
Yeah.
I thought that was a vacuum, like a random suck it next to you.
Holy.
No, that's actually Solomon who does all that stuff. I just do the thumbnails and make the match recaps and some extra side content, which you can find over at Locked In on YouTube because we're like 50 subs away from 1,000, which would be awesome to hit.
That would be awesome. Uber, what the hell were you drinking out of? Like a Gatorade
bottle,
chug?
brother. Yeah, here's the secret, man. The bigger the bottle, the better the person. No, the more you drink.
Okay.
So I don't have to refill this. Yeah,
Should I show you what color this is today?
Compensating.
Oh, that's crazy. What color's in the bottle?
Don't do it. Don't do
Okay.
it.
No.
What color is? I mean, bro, you've been sat there for a while. That's what I'm saying. Thanks for the prime.
Is the red in it again?
Saharan
Do I need to be
spy.
concerned about you? Is it like a
It's
thick
a little
orange?
red.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, what are you drinking, brother?
Ladies and gentlemen, kidney stones are no joke. See your doctor before it's a problem. Second, Sarah and Spy. Thank you for subscribing. I think your name has a Saharan in
Second
it.
Saharan
instead of-
Spy.
Yeah, close enough. We've got a lot of fun people and a lot of fun players and a producer who really needs to pee. Will I throw it to a break? Probably not. We're going to mess with Solomon. Uber, do you have any other stories you want to tell before we go?
Stories. Oh, no. You know, you can send us to a break. Actually, I have some, but I don't know if I'm intoxicated enough to share them. So,
All right, well, he sips on
Hydrated
that.
enough
Make
to
yourself
share
a...
hydrated.
What? I'm just drinking some water,
Ladies and
man.
gentlemen,
Oh,
we're
he fucking
past the
lagged out.
bottle of night shirt.
I thought he was
Oh,
watching
no.
me, but he lagged out. Okay, hold on.
All right.
That was weird.
All good. Sorry, Puckett. Yeah, we lost you for a sec, man.
Sorry, I tried to throw to a break. I was like, it's the night shift. We're all getting fired. Jason has HIV or some kind of... We won't talk about it on there. HIPAA rules.
Crazy. I can't believe you brought that up. Oh,
Welcome back to the night shift. It's getting cloudy in here, ladies and gentlemen. We got Jason Kaplan and Uber, and we're rocking out. Ready to roll with some more Deadlock. Wow, it's getting wild in here.
Puckett's got the humidifier cranked up, you know what I mean? Making
So
sure all this
cranked.
air-
I need more sunglasses. It's so humid in here. Let's jump into the video game discussion because that's why everyone pays the bills here at the night shift. We watched the best of North America, and so far it might be Hydra Nation, or it could be the pickup squad that's rocking back-to-back titles. Well, really just one guy, DMB. He's going for the 3-peat. Does he get it tonight, Jason Kaplan?
Yes, it's happening.
Ooh, I don't know. That game.
My
was-
wife says,
yeah.
stop yelling. We're putting the child to bed. Sorry,
bro.
continue, Kaplan.
Damn, that'd happen to me too if I had one. Get wrecked.
I didn't know if you're talking about wife or kid.
Yo, pro tips from Uber. You don't gotta deal with it.
Just don't have a wife, bro. Easy.
You guys do this. I'm gonna take care of this call.
Okay, yeah,
Go
yeah,
ahead,
you
Kaplan.
said
Yeah,
the
you're
call.
doing great. Bye, Solomon.
Okay, so in fairness, we
Actually left.
that's crazy. He's just I can't believe we've just produced him out of the show on a whim.
Took a fat hit and then just went off the show. All right.
Oh no, it was a humidifier, bro. Like the guy has upper respiratory problems. Like you can't just
It's true. He didn't have
You
allergies
can't-
last week. That's
yeah,
fair.
no, that's it. It's out there in Columbus, Ohio. I hear they've got like really brutal pollen going on. Let's jump into draft here, folks. Of course, for our decider match. Oh my God, what is this? We are at number 7, folks. Our finals match of North America, our night shift. Man, it's crazy to be back here for more. And the Baroness Hotel had a very strong game 1. Really one-sided. It was like a 25-minute game. They've tried to find back in game 2, but they're using a comp with a drifter, and it doesn't quite seem like they're able to put it together. However, we've got that behind us. We're off the silly sauce now. Let's see what the Baroness Hotel go for. Remember,
let's get back on the silly sauce. Pocket's gone. Mina's coming in. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? I'm back. It's crazy. Don't worry. I'm going to go put her to bed after this game kicks off, but that hasn't happened yet. So I'm here. Kaplan, it's going to get weird. They're putting away the drifter. I've been told they're taking it super serious and they're getting rid of the snow bro. So Kelvin's gone. We got no insta win. What do you do when it actually comes to picking characters, though?
Great talent right now for Hydra Nation.
That's
correct. What I was going to say is that, so because Baroness Hotel lost,
did you just waft your own burp back into your face?
Yeah, that's unreal.
Did you just try like
unreal?
That's like circular,
bro. Shut the
he Dutch ovens himself, Uber.
He burped it. He literally
this guy at night with the sheet.
Dude,
wow.
I know everyone likes their own brand, but I didn't think it was from burps as well. Like that is crazy work. Oh yes, it's a great year, that one.
Oh, there's Mo and Krill, by the way. Krill would never even conceive of that thought.
Beef jerky and pinto beans. Wow, that's the good stuff.
No, it's more of like broccoli and pork in a microwave with some potatoes.
That's based. Yeah, it'd be rice for me, but that's based.
So what I was trying to say though, before I like the smell of my own burp, apparently, was that Baroness Hotel had the choice of first pick or second pick. And they actually ended up going second pick. So normally, like, what we've been seeing is teams are heavily favoring like the first pick as a priority because you get to pick one of the strongest heroes that are left in the draft. But they give it up. GT is available, and yet Hydra Nation go for a Mo and Krill instead. And then on the other side, they still leave GT open with Mina and Paradox.
Is there a consensus here that GT is just not that highly valued? But it's been getting banned.
It's been banned out.
Yeah. Okay. So there it is. I mean, Hydra Nation saying we get the Mo and Krill. And if they, I guess again, if you're going for the GT, you might open yourself up maybe to some other picks. But I mean, Shiv is still available, right? Yamato got banned last game by the Baroness Hotel. That's something that's worth considering.
Abrams, you lock him in.
Do you go for the
Abrams keeps coming.
Yeah, good call.
I've watched this game. Seven weeks. I've been here for 6 of them, Kaplan. I'm learning.
That mystery mist in your room is working wonders, my guy. Keep it coming.
Can we actually do something here, Solomon? Can we take the pick of Abrams out and put it back in? Because I don't think people heard that properly. Not easily? Okay.
Yeah, don't do it.
I don't. You guys watch on YouTube. You can go back, check out the VOD, and go listen to when Abrams actually came into being picked. Because
Abrams keeps coming.
That is what it said.
Lady guys. True. She had a lot of heals. Do you buy the anti-heals for this comp? Is it required?
Had anti-heal. So
they had toxic bullets.
Yeah. But the thing was, there's just so much healing that it was just hard to stop, I think. And obviously with the Kelvin to support as well, yeah, I can get a lot of anti-healing, but there's just still so much raw output coming out that it's still really hard to confirm those kills.
Yeah.
All right, so no Warden this time. Put your whistle away. Last pick here. What's the ban?
I mean, you can. I'm not even really sure.
Oh shit.
Shiv. Okay. I thought that Ivy would also be a bit more likely. That was highly prioritized by Hydra Nation last game.
Is that a do target ban?
Yeah, both of them are.
Like a respect, maybe?
They literally both are.
Okay.
We have seen this. Like, I mean, I think Pocket and Shiv specifically are those kind of heroes that like they fit into really oppressive lanes very well, and they scale pretty powerfully as well. Shiv obviously like is pretty hard to kill. I think you have to take Ivy away from Hydra Nation here. I just don't think you can give him Grey Talon and Ivy in the same game. For me, that seems like a whole lot. And Hydration gets to be on the Abrams here again.
I mean, they need something to catch.
I mean, Mirage at some point. Like obviously you've got like good consistent sustained gun damage for Geist here on the Baroness Hotel, so you take the Mirage and have that yourself. Still build that in. Grey Talon's great. You might want like another sort of late hyper carry, or you start looking at the Holiday or another form of Initiate here as well.
I mean, that's the thing is that if we do see a Holiday or Bebop being, I mean, I think Bebop would actually be a really good pick for the Baroness Hotel for John.
Oh,
but it gets taken away.
Oh, that's crazy. I think that's targeted. To be fair, John is a legendary Bebop griefer, so that's definitely something we often ask him, like how Bebop's looking whenever we get catch up with him.
I mean, Viscous is still open too, which would be decent because again, if someone gets comboed or someone gets hooked, you're going to shut that down. But what I'm not seeing though at the Baroness Hotel is who's going to deal with Grey Talon. I mean, Billy's going to help, but I don't know if Billy's going to be enough to get into the back lines to deal with this when you have an Abrams front line with a Mo.
I'm calling it now, guys. Baroness Hotel wins game 3.
What would you do, Puckett? Let's turn it around on you. What would you do if they don't? Put your money where your mouth is.
If they don't, I will cut my hair properly and get rid of this mullet.
Ah, that's great.
Yeah, I'm willing to do it. Willing to do it for this show.
Fresh fade like 2 weeks ago, bro. I bet you they even gave him a nose waxing and everything, bro. He's looking clean. Why we? Yeah, okay, bro.
You go to the Turkish dudes, they like light the fiery
Armenian guys
touch
in
the
Burbank.
outside of your ear, but it doesn't burn because it's so fast.
Yep. No, I get the wax on the ear, bro. It's crazy.
There's your lash. Ladies and gentlemen, if we get to 1,000 subs tonight, Kaplan will pull out a razor and give himself the lash line. That's right. It's the night shift. He's got a razor blade in Italy. It's available to him right now. All we need is 101 subs to get to 1,000 over on twitch.tv/Deadlock Night Shift. By the way, it's up to 30% off for the next 6 days. This is the final episode in September. Take advantage on twitch.tv. Your casters for match number 3. It's Jason Kaplan, currently with the big mustache and 2 eyebrows intact. You can change it all with a little bit of money. And the best caster ever, Grace Deadlock, when he's here. It's Uber.
Oh, geez, that's high praise, yo.
According to the chat, I'm just reading what they say.
Thanks, chat. Love you, chat. Thank you. I heard that Lash was something that Jason was actually asking for in a couple of games ago, actually, to try and have that like level of access to a backline. So that may also have been taken away from the Baroness Hotel. Maybe Hydra Nation have realized that the Baroness Hotel don't have. Okay,
it was the last pick. So
Yamato also
greatest caster in Deadlock would have known that it was the very last pick.
I mean,
and it wasn't to take it away from.
I didn't even know that you could cancel the. I didn't know you can cancel Yamato's dash, like her engage. So like, we got some work to do, chat. I'm gonna be honest with you. All right, well, we're gonna get there. Don't worry about it. As soon as these guys start paying me, we'll be good.
So the chat has requested that you call them ladies versus gentlemen. There's 5 female characters on one team. You're welcome.
That's true. That's true. Billy identifies as male, though, no? So
there's 6 characters on each team, Uber.
Yeah, no, I get that.
She was just clarifying. Billy's new. He doesn't know all the lore, Kaplan. He's not like you, reading the lore every day, getting ready for the show. Gotta have my Billy lore ready.
I just don't want to misgender Billy in the current year. I don't want to do that. I just want to make sure.
Okay.
It's all above board, yeah.
Seriously, NA, what takes so long to start your games? The draft was done hours ago. Peach Pear has subscribed.
We did it. 900.
Well before this game was ready. We're at 900. We are 100 away from the eyebrow getting a brand new slit. Thank you to Jason Kaplan. You can follow him on Twitter and tease him there at JKaplan. On the mic, it's Uber Shouts with the play-by-play. Show him some love. Game 3.
Thank you very much. Yeah, the analysis, the expert insight, that's not my bag. So I've got Jason Kaplan here with me, folks, for our 3rd game. Thank you very much to Intel for making this possible. They are providing the prize pool to keep our fantastic pro Deadlock players, I'm using that with air quotes right now, engaged and locked in. Give them something to fight for here over these very early days of the pre-release of this game. Thank you very much, Goblin Man Sam, as well, for the Prime. We got over 900. Appreciate your support. We're really glad to be here. Keep the lights on and keep Deadlock tournaments running for you every single week in EU and NA. Let's jump now down to the Cursed Apple. It's Lomain on the Bebop this time for Hydra Nation.
I know he's been practicing this. He's trying to get rank 1 on every hero, and Bebop's been given a tough time lately, which I think that means AVG is going to be on the Lash, which it's either going to be him or Ranger. Okay, AVG is going to be on it. I don't like this. I don't know. For me, AVG, he's not a bad Lash, but Lomain, I think, is one of the best Lash players in NA. Every time I see him on it, he just pulls off the most ridiculous plays. And I wonder if this goes into like hero pools for them, even though they have like a very good hero pool across the board and can kind of share heroes as well. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not happy seeing him on Lash.
Okay. We'll see how it plays out. Jason, for those who aren't aware, is hardest on the players that he likes the most. So
he's more of like it technically fits his style, but he's never been like a movement heavy player. I think he's more been like a brawler, and Lash is more about like getting in and out, and brawler is like Yamato, or I think Billy would be perfect for his kid as well, because he just likes to just like be in the middle of the fight and make the split second decisions you have to make those fights successful.
We talked to AVG on a graveyard shift a few weeks back, and he said that like that move in the mechanical side of stuff is something he really wanted to work on, really wanted to incorporate into his game. So let's see if it ends up coming to fruition here for Hydra Nation, who looked terrible in game number 1. Game number 2, though, a very different story. The Baroness Hotel, we had a feeling like they were still doing a pretty good job of contesting for objectives, even though their composition fought a lot weaker. We just didn't feel like their team fight was nearly as good. The Drifter didn't seem to give them much of any sort of edge, at least not what they were trying to go for. And you see this is a pretty poke-heavy lane on the right-hand side. That Mirage damage is coming in pretty consistently from Leper's side, trying to keep Idorian honest as he will step up, aggress, and take some camps for free.
Yeah, so while he's doing this and taking the tier 1 camp, which is why they shoved so heavily in the beginning, you have his teammate DMB going on box running to prevent that for the other side. So a really good job of keeping like Lefa in check by trying to take away any single bit of extra souls he could possibly get. I think we're going to see a ton more of that mid-maxing in the future of Deadlock, not to mention there's been some like data mining of some potential changes coming to the game where there's like a jungle objective that you can contest, and you have to like stick around it to fill up its meter to accomplish something. We obviously don't have the full details of it, but like this game has such a high skill ceiling that every little thing you do really is going to help you win these matches, especially the higher the level you get to.
And that also means that like you're always rewarded for the time I think you spend like working on specific skill sets, right? It's all relevant when it comes to the competitive aspect of the game. It means if you want to be a Deadlock pro, this is the time to start right about now. Nice shoulder charge connection there, and inside the Siphon Life, the guys was forced to spend quite some time there. So that are going to be used here, and they're going to be definitely dodged away from by Hydration as Low Main wants to keep that pressure ratcheted up here on that part of the map.
I mean, there's really not much scarier than a hook into a shoulder charge as well. Like Low Main and Hydration have so much potential for kills in that lane. I mean, obviously Ivy, a little bit hard to kill because of the stone form that you have, but there's still always that potential, especially on a John before he gets his ult online.
DMB there not quite able to land that slam. That blasted buff is pretty good when he starts weaving some of these melees. Bro is going to be shooting for days. Caught inside the tornado though, and any sort of CC on Billy, even with that blasted buff up, it's pretty dangerous for them. So they will have to fold out of that engagement.
Also, just in case people didn't hear earlier on, while we do have, I guess, a quick moment here, on Sunday, we're actually going to be doing a game night with the talent. I believe DDK, Jake, and ZP will be around to play with primarily our Patreon supporters. That's your first way to get in. So if you're interested in playing on those matches at 1 p.m. PST, 10 p.m. CEST on Sunday, we'll be doing some in-house 12-mans on stream. Then also, if we don't have enough Patreon supporters that want to play, we're going to go on to Twitch subs and, of course, YouTube members. And on Friday, we also have the graveyard shift instead of being after the show today, so we can let the EU audience get involved in it, ask some questions to Lightbringer, the coach of Buff Enjoyers.
That is going to be a must-listen episode. Lightbringer is the guy that kind of gives a lot of us the down low on new metas and stuff like that. Really generous with his time and just giving out that information. So tune in for that one. Okay, Low Main caught out here. Was a guided arrow thrown out by Rokane that ended up connecting onto the Ivy.
Saya is so low right now. Quick question, Jason Kaplan, are you nervous? Mr. Rage said that we might have to take care of your eyebrow tonight. If you want to DM me your address, I'll start looking up barbers, buddy.
Oh no, bro, you could look kind of good with that, honestly. I think it would be good for you to like zoomerify your look a little bit, because I feel like you're just allowing the inexorable march of time to take hold. And
eyebrow ring?
Definitely. I honestly think the slit, eyebrow slit could go kind of hard, but Jason also needs the eyebrows cleaned up a little bit as well. Trust me, I do too. So, yeah, a bit of column A, bit of column B. I think your missus would like that, Jason.
We're doing it for her, really.
Yeah.
You want me to call her right now?
No, the Deadlock community will take care of it. It's a gift, you know. We don't want to ruin our
I think we should just assume that she will like it, and then just see. It's more of an ask for forgiveness and not for permission thing. You know what I mean?
I think you're gonna look great. We'll get you a very, very thin fit tank top
Mitch,
to go with it. Back to the fight here, Mitch. It's crazy.
Okay.
Ask for forgiveness instead of permission. How's your wife doing?
Mr. Blaze dropped off another 25 community. Feel free to chime in as well. Blaze is heavy lifting the community tonight. That is now 100 plus gifted on the channel. Flint Snow, thank you for 61 gifted. All tonight we're climbing, baby.
Thank you very much for that.
one of the sickest burns of my career against Mitch, and then it gets overshadowed by 25 gift subs.
We got 25 gifted from Mr. Blaze 96. You're safe with me, Mitch. I got you.
Yeah, thanks, brother. That's crazy. Kind of in that sick. If 25 gifted's able to bloody undo you, bro. That's what, 100? You'd do better. It was good. It was good, though. I'll give it to you. All right. It's going to be messy here through the middle part of the map. Make no mistake. Do trying to come forward, though. Nice little dodge. A dash, rather, onto AVG, and a secondary fire will clear up that elimination. Scout, though, goes down. We have had a pretty frothy couple of minutes in game, which most of it was obscured by Jason's attempt to assemble an insult. He got there, though, so credit to him. We will cross back over to the action now, though.
Sound like credit to me. It sounds like you're still bashing on me there, but I'll take it. It's fine. I'll have my time. Give me another like 5 years.
Listen,
and I'll come up with a new one.
Genuinely credit where it's due. That's fine. Another 2,000 subs, and I will go and get a wife. All right, I'll go and find myself a wife. I'll sort that out. All right, Guardian taken down here. Left are able to get that one at least. And you can see Idorian has to very quickly get away from this pressure in that bottom right side of the map. Now, amidst this somehow, is the Billy. The MB still wants to fight for this now, but virtually in 1 versus 2. Nice and healthy, though, and should at least be able to defend this right side walker.
So since we're paused, for 2,000 subs, could I marry you?
I mean, it's one of our Patreon pledges, actually.
Oh, really? Marriage? That's crazy.
Yeah. And like, could you offer a green card at this point in your American citizenship? Like, what's on the perks line here?
No, I can't. But I can.
Great voicemails.
I can offer like a broad sense of disdain and general detachment, like emotional detachment.
Yep.
Just like general like avoidant sort of attachment style. If you're into that. Mm-hmm. So we can organize like regularly scheduled love bombing, and then I will just sort of go off the boil entirely and just lose myself in my work for
ladies. 2,000 subs. This could all be yours. The game's live again. Thank God.
I don't know, Jason. I thought I solved myself pretty well based on the sort of Tinder profiles I see out there. This is kind of right on form for dating in this generation. No?
Yeah, I date you.
Okay, there you go. Like that. All right, back into the action. 8 minutes now, so we are getting to the pointy end of things, and those sinner sacrifices are going to start to be contested. Still, of course, a couple of minutes away from those buffs spawning up, but straight away, Leffer gets in the direction of that first sacrifice, and I think the MB is mindful of this, but not in a position to do a whole lot about it. Chain Gang not available for him, so he'll just take the camps that he can access for the time being. Shoulder charge there, connection on the John, but he still wants to fight for it. Kudzu Bomb also a problem there. Uppercut from Low Main, but he took a chunk of damage, and this is not enough to stop the Baroness Hotel from mauling that left side Guardian.
Now, one thing we can't forget about is that Sai has played Gun Ivy not too long ago, and it was pretty damn good, to be perfectly honest. It was when they were playing melee creeps against little troops, and he was carrying the game. They eventually lost out when it came to the macro later on. So he's off to a pretty decent start, as well as Ido yet again, currently at 7.6, and comes to the Guardians being traded in the left and right lane for both teams. We're see the push coming out of the Baroness, getting the middle Guardian down, but AVG is able to chime in, at least turn this into a kill.
I mean, you can see how important the Bebop is for just guaranteeing these eliminations, right? There was a hook into a Death Slam. Now Shadow Transformation on the high ground for Dewey. Wants to fight for this, but it's dangerous here. Low Main still healthy enough to go for it. Trying to zap the Yamato down. Dewey falls, but it's the cost of AVG. Shout out to Kate. Thank you very much for the prime. I know we're fighting over that buff area, but they're not spawning for another 40 seconds. It's just where the battlefield happens to be right now. That is a 2-for-1 trade favoring Hydra Nation. Well, what do they do off the back of this? They're likely hoping for that mid guarding, but I don't think that's going to be an option now. Especially with Low Main being as low as he is, and Scout now on the scene, ready to fight. 15 seconds until that paradoxical swap is at the ready. And look at all this dodging, ducking, dipping, diving, dodging. This is insane. Low Main trying to go for the hook. Is there any follow-up to this? No. Just accepting his fate, I guess.
That backstabber put in work, though, for Scout, so he could see exactly where Low Main was going to make sure he couldn't escape from that. So you're talking about that 2-for-1 trade. Eventually comes out to be 2-for-2, as all souls are tied up between the two teams. Mid lane, actually the Guardian in favor so far of the Baroness Hotel. So Hydra Nation technically can be in the lead if they can take down one of these Guardians here. I'm a replay coming through. I'm not sure what this was actually but I guess we missed out on it. Oh my God, Ido was just playing with him.
This is Leffer trying to secure this kill here, Ido. Oh, no way. Oh, no way. Oh, I'm so mad. Leffer, at least I'll be getting through it. Yeah, got him through the veil, but still, that is crazy. Glad we were able to capture that. Big shout out to Prod. Still though,
Best in the business.
Genuinely,
Locked
genuinely the best in the
alpha,
business.
by the way.
Dude, I've worked with like the most like decorated like production teams in the world. They can't spin a trick on a dime like our prod can. All right, low main picked off though, hoping for a hook of their own, but it was not to be. It turns out that paradoxical swap we talked about earlier on finally got its use. So now power play opportunity here for Baroness Hotel, but they still need to think about defending this mid-side Guardian. Hydration wants it though for himself, but it's a Guardian for a Walker trade. That's not stonks if you're Hydra Nation.
Yeah, a favorable trade for sure for the Baroness Hotel. Giving up your mid lane Guardian when you still have one Guardian left anyway. So you still, in the end, prevent them from getting a flex slot, and you get a flex slot yourself, especially if Ido can finish off this right lane Guardian. That's going to be 2 flex slots now to the 0. This is a phenomenal start with the Baroness Hotel, and now they need to make sure to protect this left lane Guardian. Yeah, Ido goes down. That's fine. His job is done. He did exactly what they needed him to. Even Al coming through. That was meant for Ido. It's going to go over onto Saya, who's trying to run this urn. And you're
damage on
for a little bit of
Scout.
time.
Yeah, I mean,
Sorry, Scout.
yeah, we're going to be looking, of course, though, for this Grey Talon in the late game to be pretty terrifying. Obviously, being able to chunk you down really quickly. And that's why it's so hotly contested.
Committing 4 players to this lane too here, Mitch. They really want to make sure this Guardian does not go down.
Oh,
and turn this
there it
into a
is.
kill. A great swap on Hydration.
Yeah, I mean, guaranteed, of course. Bro's dead. Yeah, Ranger is he's in trouble. And now, of course, Hydra Nation turning up a little bit late. Are they going to try and make a fight of this? There doesn't really seem to be an opening at all. Nice carbine connection there for Scout, guaranteeing the swap, guaranteeing the pickoff, and also probably guaranteeing this urn for Ido.
I mean, Hydra Nation are trading this out. They're looking for that Guardian and letting the urn go in for this. AVG's going to go in with the Death Slam. Gets a catch onto one, directly into a charge on John. That's not the target you want to hit onto, though. And they're actually not going to be successful to get this. They get really nothing off this at all. Pretty much no damage done to the guard. In the meantime, the urn has been secured for the Baroness Hotel. And potentially even due to push in. Well, he's going to be in a 1v2 on the right-hand side, so I don't think he's going to survive this one.
All right, Shadow Transformation coming out here. John, though, picked up pretty quickly. Dude, just using it defensively by the looks of things, hoping to get out. AVG, despite setting up the elimination on John, ends up trading themselves. So every exchange of value for Hydra Nation is kind of meh. First, they trade a Guardian for a Walker. Then they give up the urn and can't really find a favorable fight. Now, 1-for-1. Do is healthy enough that they're not going to get picked off by that, but that was a little scary.
Did he know he was there, or did he just guess? That was sick. If Do was just a little bit lower to get the confirm on that kill, that probably would have been one of the best owls I've ever seen in Deadlock.
Big shout out to Terra, obviously of Marvel Rivals fame in the chat. Let's see, it's a 8k soul lead here for the Baroness Hotel. And what is Ranger waiting for? There is generally no one else here really to help for the time being, but they are pinging that. I think they're pinging Scout, trying to take this Paradox out of the game early. Might be something here, but do they know that Billy is close by? Scout does have a friend in close vicinity. All right, well, there's the mode. Looking for a combo, I'm sure, but Scout was able to slide away. So that's the Paradox living to fight another day, but there's going to be a fight elsewhere. Surely some convergence here. I can see that AVG is looking for something, Jason. An engage opportunity with that Lash connecting on a DMB who does not want to deal with it. Charges away.
Though. He used it before on the Guardian, and they're able to defend against it. The Warp Stone. He has no way of getting out of this one at the moment. Stoneform will come in a few seconds to keep him alive, and they're looking to turn this fight around here, Mitch.
Okay, DMB wants to fight here. Blasted obviously active right now, but the disarm is a bit of a problem to try and fight through. Do 10 seconds away from that Shadow Transformation just to buy a bit of time, and Baroness Hotel be ready for the fight, but no! Hydra Nation already have found Scout and DMB. Now, in fairness, Scout, one of the squishier people on the team. Still a chance for the Everside to make something happen here, but they are down 3-1 exchange so far, and Do only just now has this transformation active. Gonna pop it. Hopefully this is the opportune time. Looking for the pickoff though on AVG, but they were able to slink away because obviously Shadow Transformation holds you in midair, and now the tornado comes through. That is going to be a tough one for Do. Just a straight up solid team fight win there for Hydra Nation. Finally, they're winning some value exchanges.
Yeah, I think Do got a little bit cocky there, trying to go in for that kill into AVG. Just got juked a little bit by movement. Wasn't able to get the flying strike and to confirm it into a kill. And unfortunately for the Baroness Hotel, nothing was really accomplished off of the delay in that fight either. Ida was busy buying, I think busy farming some souls as well, as he's up to, 15k. Not the best position he's been in before at this point in the game. His size at 16,000. But I feel like it's a little bit of cockiness out of both teams, like overcommitting for some of these fights and some of these kills that we've seen in the series so far. I think Hydra Nation, not that the Baroness Hotel aren't taking it seriously, but the Baroness Hotel is just like it's like a pug team, right? They're not actually a full-on team. And I think they're trying to get under the skin of Hydra Nation here and frustrate them.
Yeah, pug team, but I mean, they're full of pretty insane individuals, right? Also, Veil Walker, pretty busted when you're running the urn. Get across the map pretty quick. They want to fight for this. John, does he know what's coming? Unclear. No chance. No opportunity to make use of Soul Exchange because it wasn't on cooldown. Or rather, it was off cooldown. Either way, couldn't use it. Here's the Death Slang coming in. Scout and Do both knocked to the ground. And a Hyper Beam off from the side here. Lomain trying to add his hat to the ring. Throw his damage into the mix. It's going to be Scout run down by AVG. Another very good fight for Hydra Nation. And that one feels like it might have put them in the lead. Souls-wise, not so much quite yet. But they've had two very successful all-in engagements.
I mean, they need to get this Guardian. They're going to leave behind Rokane, who's going to confirm it. So they finally get a flex that unlock. But Sai, in the meantime, I think he might just commit for this. Get a second Walker of the game down. Again, opening up a lot of the jungle around the map here. He gets that one for free at 6,000 souls, too.
Yeah.
I'd imagine a Siphon Bullet's going to be coming in here sooner. Maybe. Actually, he's not even going the... Actually, no, he has Tesla, so he might even go Capacitor first.
Well, we got a chase here on the low main. Should be an easy enough pick-off, given the mobility that Mina has at her disposal. Yes, that is a Bebop down. Something the Baroness Hotel did really well in the last game is even after a lost fight, Jason, they always take something, right? This time they get a Walker. They are split pushing a fair bit with, you know, this Ivy who has a lot of mobility with airdrop to get into the fights, but it's tough to have to match the mobility of someone like Leffa, right, on this Mirage. So it does feel like Baroness Hotel have been fighting a player down in a lot of these engagements and just biding their time to get Saya into that late game hyper carry form.
I mean, he's getting close. 22,000 souls already. Over 1,000 souls per minute. Picks up Capacitor. I'm trying to... I really need to like go look over that list to memorize what Capacitor works against in the game at the moment.
It's just non-ultimate buffs, right?
Yeah, but there's like some finicky things with that, I believe. If I remember like reading the list back not too long ago. But obviously, it's not necessarily for that. It's, I mean, the slow you get from it is insane. So it's easy to chase or run away.
Yeah, 5 seconds slow. Oh, are you bringing that because Lomain appears to be rushing it? They have like a Tesla bullets already, so I thought they were trying to pick that up.
Does Lomain have one?
I don't know. I saw a Tesla bullets from, so I don't know if they were trying to like rush that as their second major item after Veil Walker.
It shouldn't be for Lomain. I don't know which build he's going for, but it's not. I mean, he went for it, so I guess. Can it take away Stone Form out of Ivy?
Is that a buff? Maybe. Is that really why you want it though?
No,
it doesn't. It doesn't stop life
jungle
siphon,
quicker,
right? Because it doesn't. Okay.
I mean, weighted shots. So I don't know.
Wait. Does it stop blasted from Billy? Does it turn that off?
I think it cleans blasted off.
That's pretty good.
But like typically the BUAP builds we would see would be like weighted bullets as well, like weighted shots to really pump up his single target damage. But they might not be using him in that sense. Watcher's
Covenant, I guess, gets turned off. I think that's pretty minor, but can be relevant.
To be fair, like late game, it's pretty big because it's a lot of healing you can do. Like any healing you do as IV, you also apply to your Watcher's Covenant target.
True. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of why this like hybrid is build of Ivy, where like you do like a surprising amount of healing even though you build gun.
You said doo-doo.
Thank you, fucking. I wanted to say that, but I didn't want to be the one to do it.
Oh, is that an American thing? You guys are on the same wavelength, bro.
I don't think he's building Capacitor for that, though. I think it's more of like to help wave clear as well, because it's like a mini ricochet or like a equal ricochet, because it helps the jumps to clear camps really quickly, and he needs to farm really fast as well.
Okay. Yeah, just wave push. So we've obviously been sort of discussing this now. You notice that despite having lost that last fight, the Baroness Hotel have still been posturing fairly confidently on their on this left side of the map in terms of the scout trying to step up, take some of these camps. It's because obviously it's the Paradox who can set up a pick opportunity for the guys, assuming you can get there in time. So either hit by the owl, it's going to be a full engagement off the back of it. Here's a chain gang that's going to tug everyone in. That's TMB making use of the ultimate. There's still a fight to be had though. Hydration, dangerous. Tries to go for the seismic slam, couldn't quite get away. Nice connection there for AVG. Those Scout going to be picked off, and now it's a nice death slam catching. By the looks of things, two of those players, Warp Stone had to be used there in the midst of the fight, and John is exactly where he wants to be. And here comes Ido now getting involved. Nox Nostra, very long range at the moment. Being able to catch it onto Ranger. No escape for that Mo and Krill. That's a 2-for-1 exchange for the Baroness Hotel. God. They're looking at that mid-walker as well. The chips have fallen pretty favorably for them now, but John does get drawn in. They've got Soul Exchange though, so low main can't get too excited.
So Nox Nostra, decent to deal with Rokane to prevent him from hitting you with those charge shots. but one of them takes half of Ido's HP. Like, that's ridiculous. And that kind of shows like Ido can't really force a fight when Rokane's in position or is anywhere in his line of sight. He has to be so careful about the angles he looks to attack. Great counterspell comes through to keep Rokane alive. Hachi, big picked off.
Somebody please kill the Great Talon. Rokane needs to die. He got Ido, bro. That is so messed up. He's gonna walk away. Oh, god damn it. That is disgusting. Great conversation, by the way, here in the chat about the use of capacitor. I think it does shut down the second dash from Mina, so maybe that's relevant too. Just a bunch of good uses for it, folks. That is crazy. Rokane goes nuts and survives that engagement. That should not happen ever. It's a mid-boss take here for Hydra Nation. And I feel like the bell might be tolling for the Baroness Hotel. It looks like the eviction notice has been served. Reju buffs 1, 2, and 3 go to Hydra Nation.
Yeah, this is rough times. A couple of like missteps in some fights. I feel like causing them to get behind a lot farther than they could have been. The thing is, it's only like a 2k soul difference at the moment, which is kind of funny considering how it's felt pretty one-sided so far for Hydra Nation in the last few minutes.
Look at the map though. With that walker down on the left side, there's been way more map control for Baroness to actually like make Hydra Nation a bit uncomfortable taking what should be their jungle camp. Well, you know, they just don't really have any safe zone on that left side of the map, as I think Leffa might be able to be about to discover. Still, Soul Urn turned in though by Rangers, so this is of course Hydra Nation making use of this power play moment, but a pick opportunity might have presented itself onto Leffa. Tanky as they are, going to struggle to get away from this. Even a tornado doesn't get them far enough from the action. We're going to pop right back down. Of course, there is one rejuve buff burnt, and Leffa will finally be forced to sit and spawn.
Are they just going to push? Are they going to look for base guardians? Because realistically, they're going to lose that right lane walker. There's nothing they can do about that.
Can they get mid walker off this?
Potentially. I mean, it's going to be a 2v2 there. I think they're looking for the base guardians, and they're still going to get a flex slot from this, and they're going to force Hydra Nation to come back to deal with this one. A shout transformation. It's got to be used by Dude to stay alive here, but he's so low in health.
Yeah, Brian, this is just a stall, surely. Yeah, he just started hitting the walker, so you can see where Doo's bread was buttered. Okay, base guardian. Not taken in the end by the looks of things. Actually, no, it was. Sorry, on that left-hand side. Pardon me. So, something, at least some wriggle room here for the Baroness Hotel. Got themselves a flex slot for their trouble, but now they're going to defend that mid-walker quite doggedly. And Hydra Nation will be back with Leffa in the game, who doesn't have Traveler, so has to use the zip line. But they'll be ready to throw down here in mid.
No Death Slam, though. Even though he has Majestic Leap, they don't have to be too worried about him. He's going to try to jump in towards the back line, or they just combo someone and immediately kill him before they have a chance. Scout goes down, even though they did get the credit from Rejuve taken away from Hydration.
They're going to lose Rejuve. They're going to lose Hydration here. He's going to get popped straight. That Soul Rebirth effect, that doesn't really seem to help him there.
Is he?
Never mind. Yeah, bro got away. Okay, bro got away. And here it is. Baroness Hotel wanted that last Rejuve buff taken away from Hydra Nation. Rokane Hydration went very low. Direct hit though on Sire in midair. That should be a pickup on the Ivy now. DMB also wading into the fray.
God.
The Baroness Hotel have just gotten a little too ahead of themselves here. They were going 1-for-1 in fairness against the Rejuve buffed Hydra Nation. But they still had that Rejuve buff on the Hydra Nation, and they just clapped the Baroness Hotel on that longer fight.
Yeah, this is more of the old school Hydra Nation that I come to expect. Especially when it comes to the macro, this snowball is heavily going in favor of them, as they've taken what was like a 2k soul lead into now 20,000 souls, go back to base, pick up quite a few items. Spirit Burn for Rokane, which is already going to be insanely deadly. I want to say it procs off of like one of these charge shots. It might take two, but
maybe
not much more than one with how much damage he has now.
So taking stock of things, there's still a walker left here for the Baroness Hotel. So in that sense, these teams are pretty evenly matched. The sole differences probably come from just the power play enabling more farming to be done by Hydra Nation. If you look at the individuals, Hurricane's at 29k, Leffa also at 28k. So they're going to be ferocious. And this game, Hydration is actually pretty farm. So that Abrams is going to be quite tanky. It's going to be quite a threat. And AVG's taken that Mystic Reverb up. So you kind of questioned whether this was the hero for them. So far, I think they've been able to be pretty impactful.
Good night. All right, pretty good.
Yeah, Jason also, for those wondering, he struggles to compliment his friends a lot of the time. So he does actually think that ABG's done a good job. He just can't say that. It's against his.
I mean, he's had some
boss.
really good death slams. I'll give him that. Especially like when they were fighting near mid boss, he was able to get the two players who were trying to hide in the tunnel.
We have a guided owl here, Jason. Now, what is... It might be that Rokane is... Yeah, just to try and maybe like get this urn sort of set up. Oh, AVG gets picked off there. We were just talking him up. That is a kill for John, who at 27k is pretty scary on this Lady Geist. It's a relatively neutral territory urn take. In fact, it's definitely in Baroness Hotel's territory, given the Walker disparity in that left side. So Hydration doesn't feel comfortable, not without AVG on the map, as that Reju buff is gone.
Yeah, I don't think they want to give up this lead too, because if they walk into a fight that they heavily lose, that 20,000 soul lead they had is, I mean, it's almost 10k now, but it would be completely gone. I'm just wondering though, why are Baroness Hotel so grouped up on this left-hand side of the map, unless they're just trying to take away this jungle, then back off with the
I think they'll be trying to posture to defend the urn. I do think if things go well for them here, they can actually transition nicely into a mid-walker attempt, right? They probably feel like it's only a 10k soul difference at this part of the game. They're probably ready to fight now. Especially with AVG dead.
Yeah, they have to... I mean, the thing is, what do they have to stop AVG? It's pretty much a swap.
Yeah, I mean, which is a guaranteed... I mean, it's a guaranteed hit, to be fair, on the last shift they're death slamming. So AVG, aware of that, has to play around that window.
If you're scout though, you have like two very high priority targets. Like AVG, get him out of a death slam would be big, but if you can somehow swap Rokane into your team,
get the GT.
It's hard to do so, but if that happens, like that's going to be your priority, because you kill him and you're already in such a good position to take this fight.
So it is interesting. Hydra Nation last game able to really abuse the Kelvin to their favor. Now they've got Rokane basically set up to to be center stage in this game. Vampiric Burst picked up there for Lomain. Obviously a very potent little active that gives it lifesteal, fire rate, and ammo. All right, fight to be had here. Surely that mid-walker being threatened now, I think Do is going to put Hydra Nation in a position where they have to make a choice. They might not have time. This might have just been a straight up outmaneuver across the map. Let's see where the guided owl is headed.
Smart.
Apparently, no in particular.
Wave off, so he has no way to take down the walker. He has to back away from it.
Good call there, Jason. Not spotted by me. This walker should be picked up though, surely on the back foot. Do. Yeah. Able to get it. So Walker trade for that kill. Now, Scout going down as well, obviously, makes this a bit more complicated. So they basically, Baroness Hotel have said, you can have your own. We want this Walker.
Yeah,
open up the inventory a little more.
This is the problem, is that Do going down now means he won't be here for mid-boss. Scout down won't be here for mid-boss. This is actually a really high priority kill, taking down Leffa at this point, considering it's going to be spawning in. You're going to see some heavy contests out of both teams. Ido needs to survive from this one. AVG just immediately backs away. But even where we're going to like a 5-on-5, if they can stall long enough for Scout to get here, I still don't know if I favor the Baroness Hotel, because AVG's Death Slam's ready to go. And then Rokane, as long as he plays from a proper position, it's gonna be really hard to. I guess it.
Yeah, but
it's more
sustained damage.
To kill him down there.
Does he get an owl every 30 seconds on Rokane? I've been watching that little eyeball pop up, and it is constant.
Yeah, basically every 30 seconds. I think Hydra Nation, Jason, without their sustained damage carry, probably don't want to risk that mid-boss take. Especially, like, you're playing against Geist and Ike. So, like, just the AoE you have, like, between Essence Bomb and Kutsu Bomb just covers all of the map. It's pretty hard to fight in the pit with that comp. Nox Nostra also is really powerful here. We're probably going to find that out. Mid-boss attempt is going to go down pretty quickly. This could get ugly, though. Here's a Hyper Beam coming in from the top rope. That's Lomain now trying to pressure down this mid-boss. Dive goes in there for AVG. It looks like he was able to pressure on Scout's position. The mid-boss is being left for the time being. Hydration got caught out. There's the paradoxical swap, and in goes Ido. Things faring pretty well for the Baroness Hotel so far, and that's the pick on Rokane. There's no real damage left. Leffa has to come to this fight manually. He doesn't have a Traveler available, so there's no damage left at all for Hydra Nation in this fight. It's just AVG to rely on now. Leffa is late to the party and realizes there's really nothing at all to do. It's a free for Reju bust for the Baroness Hotel. Death Slam comes in. AVG hoping to make something of it here, but it was always going to be a 1 versus 5 virtually. It looked good for the highlight reel, but ultimately it achieves nothing.
I for some reason I was like almost expecting Mystic Reverb to just pop off and start seeing heads popping off as well in that fight. But I think that fight was won off of Scout. I think he hit a paradoxical swap onto Rokane, put him in a bad position. They immediately killed him, and there was no chance for us to Hydra Nation to do anything about this. Honestly, the Baroness Hotel might be able to win the game off of this play alone.
Hydration died so early as well. I don't know what it was that had them caught out, but yeah, it's going to be an instant patron knock, and I think with the amount of time here the Hydra Nation still have to come back into the game. Yeah, it's going to be respected by the Baroness Hotel. Also, buffs are up, so we can, there's a casting buff, I think, available here. I might have eyes for that one. And you can sort of, you've got to be careful. This will be a nice little cache of souls off the urn, but it won't put you super far ahead. It's that rejuve buff the Baroness Hotel have to maliciously abuse. Look at all the camps that are back up over the last couple of minutes. Baroness Hotel are positioned to start to smother. And Sire has hit that 40k souls, now looking terrifying.
Well, what's also terrifying is that off of this last fight, we have 3 Spellbreakers picked up now for Saya, Ido, and DMB, which just eliminates a lot of the damage Rokane's going to be doing. So it makes him a lot less impactful in these fights.
Yeah.
And they don't have to worry about his damage that much anymore.
Yeah, I mean, negating that first instance of burst damage every, what, 10 seconds is, I mean,
there's a fight happening.
And it looks like it's going down. Combo catches onto Ido here, who's been honestly on the receiving end of some of these situations. But Rokane actually went down. Ido just going to come back up. Of course, there's rejuve buffs to spend. Hydra Nation trading 1-for-1 here is not going to be enough. There's Hydration, though, in the mix. Going to be able to jump in with that seismic slam, but AVG and Lowman get picked off. Shadow transformation feels superfluous, but Do is going to pop it anyway and go for it. GG's already coming out from Hydra Nation. Jason, it looked like they had this game. They had that first mid-boss, and they weren't able to do enough with it. The Baroness Hotel have come together and once again put their best on display, showing out with some really great macro. Feels like Sire was always able to trade a big objective every time Baroness Hotel lost a fight.
That match, it doesn't feel right to see the Baroness Hotel win, but they made the ballsy play to go for mid-boss. Scout, I think he caught an amazing swap onto Rokane to open up that fight for them to take the victory once again. They were behind.
Rokane disconnects
here. And
team changes incoming, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it here first. Saya, John, Scout, DMB, Ido, Do, causing breakups, causing chaos. This is 3 weeks in a row for DMB. $3,000 in a row. He's rivaling the best from Europe.
I mean, I'm pretty sure VP had like 10 in a row, but I think the sentiment is definitely fair. It is pretty insane that the Baroness Hotel have run it back, showing us that it's not a fluke. That's kind of crazy. This team is cracked. What a crazy game. The Ivy pick was huge, and I can't believe we saw GT get beat. Rokane had 10 kills, 2 deaths. Wasn't enough.
They called him the raid boss. When the raid boss died, the game was over. Jason, let's take a look at some of the highlights here. Walk me through the big plays.
I mean, I have to cast my mind back because there was so much action happening nonstop here. I think the general thought in my mind is that like Hydra Nation were in the driver's seat for a decent amount of time. Obviously, the Baroness Hotel, they were able to get the first Guardians down. They had 2 flex slots unlocked before Hydra Nation had a single one. And then Hydra Nation were able to come back. They were able to build up what was like a 21,000 soul lead off the back of taking Rejuve and all the farm they got from that one. But all it took was that one fight in pit on the last mid-boss to completely turn that advantage they had completely around and get the Baroness Hotel another victory under their belts. I mean, are we seeing the new super team? Is Melee Creeps going to be alive after this? I really don't know anymore.
I'm sorry, but like, dude, Sire is player of the match. Like, easily. It is crazy. First, the Kelvin game, right? All in capitals. Like, that was just an insane showing. Here, I'm pretty sure Sire solo took 2 walkers this game. Just split pushing a side lane, doing what he needs to do just to sort of get farmed up. This was awesome Death Slam, but it just doesn't mean anything. It's like they just did no damage in the end. Sorry,
it's good for like a highlight reel. You know, we got more upcoming Deadlock. You know, watch this.
Which I said
show.
that. I did say that for sure. I mean, it is nice. But Sire for me, like obviously in a slightly different role here on the Ivy. Unlike Leffer in the last game, who was on Ivy, Sire has 19,613 more objective damage than Leffer was able to get, I think, in that previous game. So that's, or maybe it was game 1, I think it was. So that's good. Pushing down those objectives. 2 walkers, bro, is crazy. You're getting a ton of souls. You're getting super fed. If that game goes like any later, it's really going to be the Ivy show at that point. Ido wasn't able to flex nearly as much in that game, but a crazy getaway, I think, between him and Leffer before. Like, Leffer would have just punched the monitor at that point. Like, that looked very frustrating for the Mirage player. Baroness Hotel, man, these guys are super legit. I'm very impressed.
I think this is the first time we've seen a graph at the bottom of the screen bounce this much in a game. Typically, it'll bounce once when the enemy team comes back, but to have it go both ways like this was just ridiculous. And it kind of shows that you're really not out of the game because all it takes is that one play.
Dude, a 17.3k soul swing at 25 minutes, excuse me. That is insane. That is so crazy. That was, I think, that mid-boss take. I think that really, you can see that there, of course, just after 20 minutes, that mid-boss take for Hydra Nation. And they converted that pretty well until they sort of didn't, because you can see like there are still yellow objectives being picked up between 20 and 25 minutes. Like, why is this being allowed to happen? Like, you can't let a team get back into the game while you have rejig buffs up. Crazy,
Two
man.
less kills and the Baroness Hotel walk away with the W. Was Hydra Nation playing with their food? Was it an individual mistake? For the noobs watching the stream, Kaplan, how would you summarize that matchup?
I think obviously it shows the Baroness Hotel is a very strong team, but I don't want to count Hydra Nation out, because obviously it's them playing for the first week with a new player on the team. He's doing all the drafting for him, I believe. He's also making a lot of the calls as well. So I think we saw some growth out of Hydra Nation, which is great. I would like to see what they're going to do next week, though, once they've had a little bit more time to scrim and kind of get settled between each other. But either way, I mean, the Baroness Hotel show they're the real deal, and there's a lot of potential out there in North American Deadlock.
The draft has been quite fun as well today. Great talent eliminated all until this last match. Rokane playing his heart out does not earn your MVP award. Instead, it goes to the other side. Who earns it? It's got to be the one and only Saya. Incredible Kelvin play, as you mentioned, but most people will remember the game we just saw. The Gun Ivy has been so impactful in the last 2 weeks, Jason Kaplan.
Yeah, I think it's kind of a shame, because Saya within Melee Creeps was kind of overshadowed by so many other players like Poshi Pop and AVG and Low Main and so many other players. But I think he's like really proven to us that he is a fantastic player who has so much potential. And his reads, like here, the initial play that we saw that almost wanted to make me give him MVP right off the get-go in map 1 to save Do.
Daddy's
was
here.
Amazing.
Damn, it's super sick. And Do ends up taking over that game, by the way. And it is moments like this that can really echo throughout the entirety of the match. This is pre 10 minutes that this happens, or right bang on 10 minutes. And that, buffs are up. They're just taking the buffs off the back of that. It's such an important moment to have this level of intervention. So I was really, I just think that their game sense to be right where they needed to be in that game was huge. And 40k healing, right? You really doubling down in that support role. I do think to some degree, like just abusing some of the really powerful numbers that Kelvin offers, and that utility is pretty insane. Like this frozen shelter is just, I mean, it's chef's kiss. It was perfect. It completely gummed up the choke. Nothing Hydra Nation could have done about it. And I watched this game, I thought it was sort of over. I thought it was over after that first game. I didn't think Hydra Nation would break back in. Credit to them, but we then got to see Saya just work the map, take 2 walkers in that last game.
I think
Kaplan, how many subs away are we from you putting a little dash in your right eyebrow?
Ain't happening. I think our subman of the night, Mr. Blaze, has gone to bed.
69 more subs.
Hey.
Somebody's got to hit us with some nice before the show is over. Uber, we got to pay out $1,000 more to the Baroness Hotel. Is it time to start the discussion of, guys, I know we were supposed to just be here for a little bit, but like maybe we should do this full time. I mean,
it's funny, isn't it? We thought that there was a project in the works with Sire and John who were trying to form a team and bring back Melee Creeps. You are already sort of showing up and dominating here against this Hydra Nation team. I do think that you're catching Hydra Nation on a downswing. They lose and then they make changes, right? So it means that usually it takes some time for them to work their way back. But hey, they got themselves a map. They got to pick the Kelvin. I think Deadlock right now, between Kelvin and Grey Talon's power, there's a lot of really volatile, very powerful heroes in this game that can really get out of control. And this game is very much like a butterfly effect. Something happens early in the game that really can affect things later. So I'd like to see the Baroness Hotel stick together. But honestly, if there's something else in the future for John and Cyan, then so be it. Those guys are incredible. As long as they stay in NA and keep playing so we can enjoy it, I'm fine with it.
The eyebrow was an inside job.
Melee Creeps, it is Saya, Scout, John on Melee Creeps, but they also have Fish Cake, Rhino, and then there's one person which I don't think you know about that's joined the team as far as I know and I can see. Buds is on Melee Creeps.
Legendary Buds from the Overwatch
battery on a team, bro. That's crazy. I'm hyped for that, bro. I love that guy. He's like my favorite Deadlock streamer for sure.
Knock came in with a 5 gifted. I saw you trying to distract from that with the Buds discussion, Jason Kaplan. We also had some more primes being used. Reminder, this is the final episode where you can take advantage of September up to 30% off your sub, where it's not just for you. You can gift yourself a sub in the future. Pay it forward to yourself for when you didn't really work as hard as you did this month. But also, big shout out to everyone behind the scenes. Knock, our observer, really wants to see Kaplan with a new haircut. Chiming in with $25 whole.
Would you just
Kaplan,
get like
do you feel attacked?
No, he stinks, so it's
Would
fine.
you just get a low taper fade or something like that? I feel like you could still rock that. That's how I'm like. That's what me and Puckett are maintaining our like.
I used to.
like image of youth.
I used to, but then
guy. Yeah.
there's like a balding spot coming in up here, so my wife was like, "You need to grow your hair out to cover it." So
that doesn't
that's
work.
why.
Yeah.
Right. Does that work?
You don't need to worry about that on the top, you know. If it's just the fade sides, you know, we'll get there. Big shout out to everyone behind the scenes. Much love to John. We're trying to get a winner interview set up for y'all.
Ready.
As the North Americans have some of the best speakers, we bring them live to the channel. Welcome in and congratulations, the Baroness Hotel on a heater, baby.
I'm squishy. Yo, Jason. Yo.
Holy, bro. Yeah, y'all kind of cracked. That's crazy.
Sorry, we fired up right now? How we feeling?
Yeah, I'm definitely like twitching. I ain't gonna lie.
He's got the feel for esports and Deadlock, man. It's been a long time since he's been able to lift a crown, thinking back to the Melee Creep days. But man, you guys played well. First of all, you're our MVP of this series. Your Kelvin play, as Uber put it, was chef's kiss. Can you talk to us about Kelvin? Because apparently you don't really play Kelvin that much, but it didn't look like it.
Yeah, so basically what Kelvin is like the dome is just so impactful. Like if you think about Doorman, right? What his ult really does, it sends someone out, and like Kelvin just does the same thing, but like it's also just healing for you and the person you're with.
I mean, let's talk about the macro game, because I think something that was very noticeable for you in that game 3, Sire, is your objective damage and the fact that you shoved down 2 walkers solo for free while Hydra Nation were doing God knows what else. So tell us a bit about how like you were able to bring that game back, because if you obviously you see the end screen, right, there's some huge swings in terms of like souls overall. How do you guys sort of claw back from a rockier start?
I think it comes down to like there was just trading. Like for example, we saw them all on the map, so we just said let's go take a walker.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you a little bit about this squad. We know you have a full-time team, but this was a pickup squad that is finding success. What do you think it is about playing with this group of 6? Is it just less pressure when you guys get on to play for night shift, or what is working with the team right now?
I think they're all like very mechanically talented, and like they're all just there to have fun.
And who brings the most raffles to the squad? Who's keeping you guys giggling over there?
I'm gonna say Do.
Do. Is Do the best Shiv in North America?
Without a doubt.
And what is Saya the best at in North America?
Asking people what they feel like playing today.
Okay. All right.
He does
Kaplan,
the
all
job
yours.
for him, right? If you watch Ido's stream, he's just waiting for Sai to tell him what Ido's playing in that match. But I don't know if like Sai, I don't know if a lot of people know this about you, but you also have like a full-time job, so you do this in your free time. Is there like what would it take for Deadlock Esports to get to for you to full in 100% full-time playing Deadlock?
I don't know, probably like tournaments around 10K.
Wow. We got some news for you. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Right? I was like, break it down, Jason. You got 10K coming next week. Not yet. We're getting there, guys. Don't worry.
But go on, Sai. So tournaments around like 10K, right? But like, how consistent are we talking? Because it's a big jump to go from having a full-time job into like esports is my job now.
Yeah, I think probably like the biggest thing is I do work with middle schoolers, so there's like a connection I have with them and everything too. So I think that'd probably be like the hardest part, because I am kind of like their like leading figure into their little world of esports.
Oh, that's so sick. That is so cool.
You got any sick middle school slang we can drop on the next show?
No. I hear it enough. I don't need to watch this back and hear that.
Skibbity 4-5, something like that. All right, my guys.
Skibbity, or have we moved on?
Yeah, go ahead. Be an adult, Kaplan.
Okay. You probably won't talk about it, but I'm gonna ask you anyways. Is there a world where what we're seeing at the Baroness Hotel is a team now, or are you guys still playing
that
separate ways?
You have other teammates who could be watching this interview. You can't say it.
There's definitely an idea of a mix and match between MLC and the other team that I'm currently operating. So it kind of just depends on circumstances on how the fully fleshed out team looks.
Okay.
And with there being a lack of major orgs in Deadlock, now is one of the few opportunities that I have to purchase a team. So if I wanted you guys to be Puckett's Pockets, how much are we talking for salary right now? Small part, Saya. We can talk on the Twitter DMs.
Part 1? Yeah, we're gonna have to change that name, I ain't gonna lie.
What about the Kaplaneers?
Okay, I can go with the
Saya.
Kaplaneers, I ain't gonna lie, that sounds
All
fire.
right, get this guy off my show.
Bro, that's
Saya's an
clout, dude.
MVP, but he's not everyone's most valuable player. I thought his teammates did better. In real talk, Saya, are you streaming? Where can we watch it before next week?
I am streaming. Also, Ido is too. I'll give a shout out to Scout, Ido, Moon, all those guys. Everyone on my team streams.
Sounds like we're going to have to host you all at the end of each episode if you keep winning. Congrats on the $1,000 headed to your bank account.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
That's Saya. That is the Baroness Hotel, and it's becoming a real thing after 3 weeks at the top. They're starting to flex their muscles. Kaplan, what did you learn from NA tonight?
And NA uncharacteristically has me so hyped for them as a region, which I never thought I'd be saying in my Deadlock career casting. It's been a long time since I've been hyped about an NA region in any esport, and I'm so happy to see it come to fruition here in Deadlock.
Uber, you've been away from Batgirls for a little bit. How did it feel to come back?
Yeah, very good. Honestly, it didn't get any page tonight, so honestly, there's still a couple of boxes yet to be ticked. But if Jason, if you got the cosplay, mate, we can hook it up a little bit later on. But no, look, honestly, I'm interested to see what happens when these regions do get a chance to start clashing, because I always hear from European players like, oh, we don't think that NA has the quite right understanding, or the way they see the game is a little bit sort of less evolved kind of thing, which is rhetoric we always sort of get. I will say NA is a lot of fun right now. It's really volatile. I think it's safe to say, where like household names like Hydra Nation are getting dragged out into the town square and have the tar beaten out of them. But I'm here for it. It is good TV.
It is good TV. The TV continues every Wednesday. You can tune in. We kick off at 4 p.m. Eastern, around 10 o'clock, depending on where you're at in Europe. And a reminder, we have all of these VODs up on YouTube, youtube.com/@deadlocknightshift. Jason Kaplan does all of the thumbnails, and he can also tell you about some fun we're having, because we got a graveyard shift coming on Friday, and then our friends are going to play video games with you on Sunday. It's crazy, Kaplan.
Yeah, so we wanted to give some EU some love, because obviously when we do these shows, we always put the graveyard shift after DLNS ends, and it's a little bit too late for people in EU. So this Friday, we're having Lightbringer, the coach from Buff and George, join us. I don't know the actual time, but make sure you follow our Twitter, so we'll actually post for you guys to find out. You can come watch live in Discord. You can watch on streams, but if you're watching Discord, you can actually come in and ask questions to him or to the talent there to discuss things with you. And then, like you said, on Sunday, we got DDK, we got Jake, we got ZP playing some viewer games, 12-man stacks. If you're a Patreon follower or subscriber, you get first priority into joining these games. Make sure to head over to Discord for more information. And if you're a Twitch sub or a YouTube member, you also do have a chance, but it comes down to Patreon getting priority first.
Just a reminder, the Night Shift is a community-run show. We work for you guys. Thank you for all the support. You guys are insane. We gathered over 300 subs on Twitter alone tonight. Mr. Blaze 96 dropping off over 100. Flint Snow, our second place hero, gets the silver medal on the night. And Lotu, working behind the scenes, as well as Knock, threw away their money on a show they have to work on next week. I guess they love it like we do. Uber, final thoughts on our matchup here as we close out Shift 7.
I want to see Hydra Nation step up next week, not only with good drafts, but also macro that stands up to what they've had historically. We need to see them keep NA moving forward, mate. I'm ready.
I have a request. Hydration used to play DPS. He was like the guy that you had to watch. He was the star player on his first Overwatch team. They paid him a lot of money because they saw his young talent. He's now old talent. I think he's still got the gunny. Can you let the kid flex for just one episode? I haven't seen it yet on the Night Shift. Maybe number 8 is the one. On behalf of everyone behind the scenes, thank you for watching. We'll catch you next Wednesday and on Friday and this Sunday as well. Look at the back.